I think New York will show up and bring the noise for sure.
Yeah.
Too noisy?
No,
It's never
there's
too
no,
noisy.
no. Bryson's gonna bring the people together. He's gonna.
I'd say Scotty.
He's gonna bring the energy. I think the crowds are gonna be fired up, and the course is in spectacular shape. So we walked around today, and super excited to watch it. Throughout the weekend.
Yes. He's been getting quite a lot of compliments.
Are you happy with the sunglasses?
I'm very happy with the sunglasses. Yes.
I'm gonna have to say Scotty.
Who's your favourite player?
I'm gonna have to say the captain. He's the best. He's a New England guy, Keegan. JT. JT all the way.
What are their strengths, do you think?
Probably for the unity of the team. I think it's one of the aspects that Donald, the captain, has worked a lot in this period. So I think that this will be the key for win here in US.
Okay, who's that?
Bryson DeChambeau.
Okay, show me your hat. Who's that?
Bryson DeChambeau.
Show me your hat. Who's that?
Bryson DeChambeau.
Show me your hat.
Bryson DeChambeau.
And back in the middle.
Bryson.
U.S. are gonna win. I don't know about how easy it's
It's not going to be easy at all.
Listen, the Ryder Cup, it makes the Masters and the Open Championship fairly you're carrying in a monthly medal or a Pro-Am, because the atmosphere at this event is like no other. It is golf with a football crowd, which you don't normally get, so it's very boisterous. And if you've not got any hairs on your back, you better grow some quick, because you need some, your mental strength needs to be on a different level this week. Listen, make no bones about it, in the 80s and the 90s when Seve Ballesteros were at his peak, with a European team of Langers and Woosnams and Lyles and Faldos and Olazabals. They were all European players. Some of them, including Seve, always felt as though he was not respected enough, and it was the European Tour against the PGA Tour of America. And listen, it was pure and utter, when Seve were around it was pure and utter hatred, make no bones about it. It was feisty, it was evil at times, and there was no love lost out there, but it's certainly changed the last 25 years. It's calmed down a bit, but like I said, there will be instances, because there's no the pressure like a Ryder Cup. Well, DP World have been a massive partner for the European Tour. It's the DP World Tour. And they do a similar job to what Caddy does, believe it or not, these moving precious packages like these prima donnas I caddy for, and getting them from A to B, which DP World excel at. Mia genuinely tells me it's a coin toss. Yeah, honestly, this could go either way. The teams are so evenly matched. The crowd's a massive part, and if the European team can keep it quiet, I think our players, certain players, are in better form than some of the American players, good players that have not performed the last few months. So I could say Europe nicking it. I certainly can, yeah.
Hi guys, this is Desiree Henry, Olympic medalist, and you are watching Afro Sport on Free TV, channel 730, your freedom of sport.
Africa, a vast continent comprising of 54 different nations, each of them peopled with warriors. Johannesburg, an industrial powerhouse, home to the largest of the world's gold deposits, the richest square mile on the continent, and a vast population of the destitute. Here is the headquarters of the EFC organization, for nearly 2 decades the destination of the continent's brave. In 2025, the company kicks off the year with EFC 121, an event that will redefine historically the most talent-rich division, the featherweights. On March 6, 4 men go to war. 2 to fight for the interim title, 2 to fight for the #1 contender spot, and 1 to look on, nursing injury, as his teammate defends the gold that he still has claim to. This is the story of rising to the heights of a sport and the heights of the heart. This is the countdown to EFC 121, brought to you by World Sports Betting.
The featherweight division at EFC has been dominated for years by Iggy Cabeza.
Current featherweight and current lightweight champion.
By far the most dominant champ we've had in our history.
The wrestling is phenomenal.
His training partner, Rudy Roots, he wanted to give him an opportunity, plus challenge himself and go up to lightweight. And that gave Rudy the opportunity to fight for the featherweight title, which he did, became the champion, and that's where we're sitting at the moment.
So incredible, the backstory and the relationship that Rudy Roots and Iggy Cabeza have had. It goes back to them being almost brothers. You know, they grew up together under Jan Roots, the same household, really being fashioned in the wrestling world. And that's why they walk the same path, you know, very close to each other. And it just so happens that they're in the same division.
It is in the small city of Polokwane, 300 kilometers
E1, welcome to Africa.
The culture here is spectacular.
I'm excited to experience the vibes that Lagos is going to bring, the culture, the food, the racing.
We've had a great welcome and can't wait to get racing this weekend. We're in Lagos and I'm super excited to get the podium myself.
It's Lagos GP. We will take the win there. We're really excited to hit the water.
I can't wait to jump in the boat.
E1's in Africa. Lagos, baby.
Yes, Lagos indeed. Welcome along then to the UIM E1 World Championship presented by PIF. And round 6 of 7 in 2025, the UIM E1 Lagos GP presented by First Bank. The championship is on a knife edge after all of the drama and intrigue of Monte Carlo last time out 11 weeks ago.
Competition is competition. It's an equal playing field. It can be anybody's day.
I'm really proud of my team because they have the spirit.
The competition is healthy and everybody wants to win.
This series has shown us that right up to the end it all matters.
It really is hotting up now with 3 rounds to go.
Great back at the front.
Oh my gosh! This is your championship leaders, Rafa, and they've got big problems with that boat. That was a big hit.
It was scary. I was worried for Tom, honestly. No, the main thing is he's okay, he's healthy.
This really is a turn up for the books. First and second in the championship. Rafa and Aoki both in the place race. No! Danny Kloss is in trouble.
I am happy this race is finished, guys.
It's been an awful weekend. Cut and finish.
And never repeat.
Never repeat.
Are Brady for the first time this season going to head the championship? A win or second would do that.
The team's had a great weekend, so it's been fun, and now it all comes down to this one race, and proud of Emma. Sam's got to bring it home, and we're all going to be here cheering for him.
this is it. Who's going to win E1 Monaco?
Foil-to-foil racing with Brady and Brazil.
Brazil have taken the long lap, Brady on the right, Brazil on the left. Absolutely locked together, foil-to-foil, and Brady just about ahead. Brady is second to take the championship lead for the first time this year.
Yeah, we'll take that.
P2 overall, and we're now leading the championship. It sounds pretty good, huh?
It sounds good. We'll take it.
Doesn't get much more dramatic than that. As you can see though, here in Nigeria, we do not have the best of weather conditions at the moment, to put it very mildly indeed. All the racing got underway here yesterday though, with qualifying race 1, and just 1 point between the top two. It's Nerea Marti. She is a rookie for Alula. She has the best position on the inside line. John Peters, probably the best start in the whole field for Team Blue Rising. They won in Monaco in July, their first ever win. Giacomo Sacchi of Monaco is in lane 3, and then Emmett Kimmerleinen. Fingers crossed for them that the gearbox problems are a thing of the past. Now we're just seeing there's been a late change for Team Blue Rising. The timing screen says John Peters is in the boat, but we are reliably informed by our team here that it's actually Sarah Mizier who is on board, and sure enough, here is the pilot from Jamaica. So tactical things going on there as well, Shelly, I guess. They need to try and work out who you want in the boat, don't you, at each part of the weekend, because we're alternating from this moment onwards. So there is Sarah Mizier, former equestrian star, of course, recovering from a very big accident just a few years ago. She's ready to go. The race will start in just under 90 seconds time. We'll see it at the bottom of the screen when the clock counts down. If anyone goes too soon, they'll be given a penalty on the second lap. It's 6 laps in total. And who's going to get the best start? Boost is absolutely vital here. There's Sam Coleman watching on. Emma will be out there. They've got nothing to lose in a sense in terms of this weekend, but they do have that championship lead to try and maintain 1 point ahead of Rafa. All they can do is try and win this first qualifying race to put themselves in the best position for their group stages. This is the 12th floor of the Black Diamond Hotel. This is where Mission Control is, and all of the teams based in there, inside the room as well as on the balcony. And here we go, 44 seconds in counting. You can see now at the bottom of your screen that will be underway in just over half a minute. Don't go too soon. We've seen people do this before. If you go too soon and have to back off, you will lose momentum. Alula going rather early, aren't they, with Nerea Marti? It's her first ever E1 start, and that's why she's backing off now, because she realises what she's done. 20 seconds. Everybody else backing up. Look at Brady holding back there.
Brady and watch Team Blue Rising. Look, here comes Brady storming through. Team Blue Rising up on the power there.
2 seconds, 1, and we are away. It's a clean start. Nobody went too soon, and Brady tried to turn their fortunes around here after gearbox problems in the qualifying time trial earlier today. And Emma Kimmerleinen giving everybody lots of space on the run down into turn 1. So Brady at the bottom of the screen, Blue Rising charging through. Emma did a very good job there to avoid contact. That is Blue Rising. Sarah Mizier now at the helm after a late change. It would have been John Peters, but they made a change at the last moment. They even had a problem before they got going. But great start for Blue Rising, we've got to say. Brady did a great job there to avoid contact down into turn 1.
Yeah, great start by Sarah Mizier there. We've seen it before. Team Blue Rising are very, very good at that acceleration and pulling away into the lead. Now they're in that clean water, which we've said time and time again is key. There are no short laps or long laps in this race today. So, is this Team Brady coming up alongside Team Blue Rising? Yes, they are literally foil to foil.
Absolutely great stuff here in Nigeria as the sun gets lower in the sky as well, and that could cause some problems for the pilots. But this is great, isn't it? Our first racing action of the weekend. Blue Rising on the right, Brady on the left after that excellent start. Third still is Giacomo Sacchi from Monaco for Miami in third place. Alula with Nerea Marti, one of the other rookies in the field. There's 5 of them in total. 2 of them are in this race. But Emma Kimmerleinen is boxing it very clever indeed. She's on the outside line.
Yeah, she had a little bit of a twitch there. You can see Team Blue Rising and Team Brady both really pushing and trying. And when you push too hard in the E1 RaceBird, that's when it gets out of shape. I think that's Team Brady just moved into the lead there, so Emma has taken over Sarah.
So looking back from the 36-year-old pilot from Finland, this is exactly what they wanted. They know there's no points available in this race, but they've got to get themselves in a good lane position for the first of their group races when Sam Coleman jumps in tomorrow morning. Brady with the advantage. Fingers crossed for them that those gearbox problems don't come back to haunt them. You can see when the boost is being applied with these electric motors up on the foils. This is a great race so far for Brady. They do respond well, don't they, to a high pressure situation. Blue Rising are still second, but Miami looks to be closing in now. Giacomo builds his confidence. Look at Emick in the line and just pulling away from the rest of the field, and that's what a lead of almost 3 seconds looks like as we come towards the third of the 6 laps. But they know, don't they, there's every chance they're going to lose the championship lead when the second race gets underway with their rivals, so they've got to limit the damage for their lane position tomorrow morning. It's very calm on board, isn't it?
Emma has got great skill here. She has literally calmly pulled away from Team Blue Rising. She's now in that clean water. She knows there's no long lap or short lap to do, so she's just got to keep her nose clean, as it were, now, and drive the RaceBird smoothly around the course, keep it up on the foils, no heroics, and just bring her home, because she has got an amazing lead there of, wow, 5. She's now 5 seconds ahead of Team Blue Rising.
Let's see if Miami can do anything about Blue Rising. Blue Rising riding the crest of a wave at the moment, bit of a moment for your leader, but Blue Rising won for the first time ever in Monaco, but we've had to wait for 3 months since that last event back in July. Alula bringing up the rear of the field at the moment with Maria Marti, her first ever race like this on water for the Spanish rally driver. There's Blue Rising coming around the end of the lap. That's a handy advantage, and it's extending now to 9 seconds over Miami in second and third place. There's Alula there on the boost in the background. This is Team Miami, and they are going to their home event as the curtain comes down on this 25 season. When we get there next month with 2 new pilots this weekend, and you're looking into the eyes now then of the F2 Powerboat star Giacomo from Monaco. I have to say he's adapting very, very quickly to E1. He hasn't really had any dramatic moments at all from what we've seen in practice yesterday and all through the qualifying time trials. Shelley, you know him well, don't you, from the world of F2, and he's a real up-and-coming star there, and he's still only in his early 20s.
Yeah, very, very experienced racer, and as we've said though, the experienced racers come over to E1 and it's a whole new ball game for them to learn here. So very, very different. I'm wondering if Team Alula has got some slight problem, because they are so far behind. They are literally they're over half a minute behind there.
I think you might be absolutely right. They are slowing here, aren't they? Definitely with Maria Marti. And are they going to be out of this race? She's trying her best to keep going, but there was definitely a loss of speed there, wasn't there? Coming out of the left-hander at turn 1.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether the boat's got a problem or whether, bless her, she is just trying to learn how to control the E1 RaceBird. Every time you drop the hull into the water or the wing is taking the water, you are losing speed. That you can see there, the water pushing through the wing there, and she is just losing speed.
Well, it definitely can't be easy. It's a completely new challenge for her. She's used to racing cars. She does a lot of work with BMW and the W Series in the past, and also racing on the Formula 1 tracks alongside all of the Formula 1 team principals who are watching on as well in the F1 Academy. And it's actually not beyond the realms of possibility that they might go a lap down, because Brady are coming up to them as we start the 6th and final lap of this first qualifying race. I'm sure Emma won't do anything, she'll probably hold back. She'll know she's got an enormous lead now of almost 18 seconds. They'll be praying to get to the end, because Brady had technical problems with the gearbox failing earlier on in the qualifying time trials.
We've got a brand new gearbox. They did an amazing change during the time trials, and it looks like with the new one on, she is home and dry, as they say.
Wales' finest there, Sam Coleman, looking on, keeping as calm as he possibly can, looking down for that brilliant view they have of the Lagos Lagoon from the 12th floor of the hotel. As I say, they are coming up to Alula, but Brady now just half a lap away. They were thrown a real variable, weren't they, into the mix earlier on with those gearbox issues. But as Shelley says, they've changed the gearbox. They just missed out on getting in a great time, and that could have cost them a potential 3 points today, because no points are available in this race. But as we look through now the golden sunshine of the evening here in Nigeria, Brady have recovered from gearbox problems earlier on in the qualifying time trials. Emma Kymäläinen out of the last corner to win the first racing action, and they're absolutely delighted, as you can hear from the team radio in the background. Just a way to bounce back from the technical problems of earlier on. In terms of pilot performance and the team as well under pressure, it's been a great day so far for Brady. It's going to be second for Team Blue Rising after their late tactical switch of pilots from John Peters. Sarah Mizier, the Jamaican pilot, jumped into the boat, and she's second. And now Giacomo from Miami making his way home. What a great start for him. He's showing real maturity, isn't he? Hasn't made any mistakes so far, Shelley, and that's a solid third place for him. Beautifully timed as well on the boost as he crosses the line. Perfect. The boost runs out just as he crosses the line. That's the way to do it, because with these long straight sections here at Lagos, you need to time the boost. It's more important than ever before. Right, let's jump on board and catch up with Emma. Emma and Team Brady, you've had your challenges as pilots and a team so far today, but you've responded beautifully. Well done. What a start as well.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was a fun race. We've had our challenges. We've had to set back a before, but we will definitely bounce back.
Emma, I have to ask, were you running down to quickly test the gearbox after the time trials, or were you going to try and get a quick lap in with Sam?
Sorry, can you repeat that? I was parking the boat at the same time, and that took all my attention.
But Emma, you're a lady, you can multitask. Were you running down to test the gearbox, or were you hoping that Sam would get a lap in on the time trials?
Yes, Sam definitely did get a good lap in, and he checked the boat was good, so I was able to trust it, and yeah, we bounced back from here, and next is over to Sam tomorrow.
Thank you very much indeed, Emma, and yeah, over to Sam in the morning. You can relax now. Great stuff then for the 36-year-old from Finland, and as I say, as a team, they really have responded brilliantly under the most horrible pressure earlier on, when there were all sorts of question marks over their participation for the rest of this event, and they prove that they can deal with a scare like that. Emma, they're winning by 20.9 seconds. That was a big, big win over Sarah Mizier for Team Blue Rising in second place. And it was Giacomo Sacchi in third position, and Nerea Martí from Spain, so the Monegascan Spanish pilots completing the field. Martí really, excuse the pun, thrown in at the deep end and learning all the time. It's a bit of an extended test for her at the moment, but doing a good job, not making mistakes, picking up the pace gradually as the weekend progresses and getting there step by step. What this does now is put them, Brady that is, in the best possible position for their Group Stage 1 race tomorrow. And every race now, as we build it to the final at the end of the weekend, where the real points are available, when it's 38 for a victory, every race is about lane position, your starting position for the next race. And you really do need to be on that inside line. Having said that, Brady, great tactics. Emma clearly there decided to keep herself out of trouble, held right back as John Peters did. Well, not quite as bad as John Peters in Monaco, because he had a problem, but held right back and just came shooting past everybody on the boost, but then gave Blue Rising the space, didn't she, Shelley, down into turn 1 to make sure they didn't touch, because we've seen some incidents into turn 1 earlier in the year. Brilliant spatial awareness there for Emma. She knew exactly what was going on around her.
Yeah, and she very cleverly, when she got past the boat, she then came in, shut the door on them, and got her to space, and then it was only Team Blue Rising that she had to deal with.
So the CV is down there.
Emma, after the challenges of this morning, the first thing you needed to do was nail that performance. That's exactly what you did. But now, what's the strategy for the rest of the weekend?
Well, we don't know. We're trying to just win whatever, all the heats and races, and then we go from there. Like, yeah, we're definitely bouncing back.
It's a super decisive week in the E1 Championship here. Lots of points, essential points on the line. Now you've got to make it real and keep yourself in the mix.
Exactly, but I kind of like this kind of situation where you really hit the setbacks, the walls are built ahead of you, and then you just need to think again how to build the door into that wall, and then like, just big shout out to our guys, like the mechanics and lots of other people who helped us to get the boat ready, to even trying at the time trials. It was amazing, and now we got a boat. It was amazing to race with it. I absolutely love that kind of racing, and now we just take one race at a time.
You can see you were enjoying it in the cockpit, and now down to Sam tomorrow.
Exactly, but I 100% trust Sam, and we have a great team, so it's amazing. Yeah.
Well done again, thanks Emma.
Thank you so much.
It's always debatable, of course, but without doubt, Tom Brady's team have one of the strongest lineups here in E1. And one thing Emma's also told us is that motherhood has changed a lot in recent years. She doesn't worry as much now as she used to about the small things, and definitely under pressure, as we've seen so far here, they excel. So Brady lead the way, they're limiting the damage. Blue rising second from Miami and Alula, who will have work to do when we get into the group stages here on Sunday morning. Well, things really are taking shape already, aren't they? As we touch down on the African continent for the first time ever for E1, having already been to Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, Doha in Qatar, Dubrovnik in Croatia, Lake Maggiore in Italy, and as I said before, Monaco almost 3 months ago. Just Miami then after this on Friday the 7th and Saturday the 8th of November, and the championship is going to go right down to the wire. Greg Haynes with you, Shelley Jury-Lee is alongside us. And once again yesterday we had that confirmation that as soon as you think it's safe to make a prediction, it certainly isn't, is it? It can go any one of numerous ways this year.
I'm stunned for words, because every time we sit here, something happens and the positions change, the teams change, and it's just so changeable. And then on top of that, we've got the weather and the water surface, which is all over the place, and I love it. It's brilliant.
Certainly how we have a delay at the moment, and we'll keep you updated on what's happening with the weather. But this is qualifying race 1 from yesterday, and no points were available at this point because Brady here, as we look into the eyes of Emma Kymäläinen, they've had a problem with the gearbox. They've got a new gearbox in, they just missed getting a lap in the qualifying time trials by about 5 seconds. Sam Coleman was saying, had they just got the RaceBird into the water a little bit quicker, they would have got round in time, but they missed out on going through to qualifying race 2, and so points were not available, and so they really were under pressure, and it was looking as though they were going to lose the championship lead as the first points were distributed in qualifying race 2, and it's 3 for the win, 2 for second, and 1 for third place. So still a delay here, as you can see for yourself in Nigeria. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we will get some action sooner rather than later. But the first points of the weekend were available in yesterday's qualifying race 2, when Team Brady, the reigning champions, were leading Team Rafa by just 1 point. But Brady had technical problems and missed qualifying race 2, so it was an absolutely perfect opportunity for Rafa to take the championship lead. Well, the first points are about to be handed out here. Can't wait for this at UIM E1 Lagos GP, presented by First Bank. This is going to be great. And Didier Drogba here then. We knew he was going to be appearing here this weekend. He scored some wonderful goals in his time for Chelsea, hasn't he? And others for that matter. A little bit of work to do there this time, haven't they? But they're going to be in contention for possibly 3 points with Michael Wilkinson, his New Zealand protege, at the helm. So let's see if Didier gets a strong result here as E1 comes to African waters for the first time ever. We are in Nigeria, and these are your pilots taking. Look, there's some massive names in here. Lucas Ordonez for Westbrook. Rafa, who are perfectly poised to take the championship lead because they're only 1 point behind Brady, who are not in this race. Aoki racing with Danny Kloss, who's been quick all through the event so far. Welcome back to Timmy Hansen, who wasn't with us. He was on Rallycross duties when we were in Monaco. And Michael Wilkinson, as I've just said, for Drogba, he will be on the outside in the 5th of the 5 race. On board with him now, keeping as calm as he possibly can, the 29-year-old, an Olympian. Sailing, of course, isn't it, for Micah? And I know he's not been feeding too well recently as well. I'm pleased to report he's feeding much better here as we get ready for this 6th of 7 events of 2025. And we have 5.5 minutes to go. The points for, we just had a delay, so 5.5 minutes because the new start time now will be 17:43. So that gives us a little bit more time to chat, doesn't it, Shelley? We heard from Sarah Mizzi with Saunders a moment ago talking about some of the debris they've been picking up on the hydrofoils. If you're new to E1, the idea with these RaceBirds is to get up, not on the bottom of the boat, the hull of the boat, but on the foils, you can see sticking out of each side of the RaceBirds. But they're catching quite a lot of debris, aren't they? So it's causing a lot of drag. We heard Sarah's description of it, but have you experienced anything like that? What does it feel like when you're picking things up on the prop or on the foil shed? They're certainly losing a lot of time.
Well, it's exactly how Sarah described it. In fact, she described it beautifully. I loved it. She said it's like if you're running and someone is just dragging on your T-shirt at the back and slowing you down. And that's exactly what it feels like. And I love the way she described the foils up on the tippy toes of the boat. That was a beautiful description and absolutely correct. And it is, you just feel as if you're not at optimum speed and gliding across the water. It's just like someone pulling on you and just going, come back there. So yeah, a great description from Sarah there.
Well, it's very uncomfortable out there, 30 degrees, 81% humidity for Saunders and Alejandro Agag as well.
Alejandro once again widening the reach of electric motorsport and E1 around the world to new shores here in Lagos. How does it feel to be making waves in Africa?
I think it's really great to be here in Lagos. You know, championship doesn't become truly global if you're not in Africa. For us, it's a huge step. We are in the heart of Africa, in a city of 25 million people, and not only that, we are in the heart of the city. So we are in the heart of Africa.
Tell us about the reception that the championship has since visiting. It feels like everyone's very welcoming and they're really excited to see international motorsport here in Lagos.
It's really great the reception we had in Lagos. I mean, everybody in the city is talking about the race. I'm talking about E1. We've been around. I've been to different areas of this city. The excitement is huge. Of course, everybody wants to come to get passes. We try to accommodate as many people as we can. There will be many thousands of people around these waters tomorrow for the final. So I think it's a great welcome here in Lagos.
Give us an idea of what it takes to make an event like this happen in a new location, a new continent.
To make an event like this has many challenges. First, of course, we need to come to the city and agree with the government, because we need, of course, their help and their support to use their waters, to have all the permits. Then the logistics. We need to bring here our traveling circus, if you like. All the boats travel from the location of the previous race. Then we need to set up the infrastructure, the pontoons, the charging infrastructure, the power. We need to create hospitality areas for our guests, our VIPs. We need to also bring a whole broadcasting team, you guys, with all the materials, onboard cameras, production. It's a huge operation that, is many weeks of work for 1 or 2 days of racing.
And very exciting, of course, to be here now at this point in the championship. So decisive, with so much action in the last few rounds going into this weekend. Very exciting.
Yeah, we've had a great season, great competition, the second season of E1. Let's see what happens here, because of course my preference as the promoter is to get to the last race in Miami with 2 or 3 teams very close. We have the chance of that happening. Let's see how Brady and Nadal, particularly how those 2 teams, do this weekend. But hopefully we'll have a good final.
Thanks, Alejandro.
Thank you very much.
And thank you to Saunders as well there with Alejandro earlier on this afternoon. And quite frankly, Alejandro, I couldn't have put it better myself. We will see how everybody fares. And we've already seen drama, haven't we, for Brady, because they had gearbox problems with their RaceBird earlier on. as we now get ready with 90 seconds to go. Oh, more news coming through. Saunders, to you.
Yes, I've just been talking to the dropper team about the issue that's delayed this session, and it seems like there's a bit of a communication issue or something with the steering wheel relating to the trim. So usually where they've got two options of controlling the trim from the steering wheel, they've got the buttons that do the small increments, micro adjustments, so and then you've got the paddles which do the bigger jumps. Now, as it stands, the smaller buttons aren't working, so they only have access to the big jumps of trim, which, as you can imagine, Shelley, I'm sure you can give more context on, is not going to be very helpful when the micro adjustments are really what give you the edge.
Well, Saunders, thank you very much indeed. Well, I can tell you those switches on the front, yellow is up, green is down, and that adjusts the trim by times 10, Shelley, every single time. So they can't make the adjustments with the dial. They're having to go up or down by 10. I mean, that's a bit of a nightmare to pull it mildly, isn't it?
Yeah, that's quite a big jump on the trim, and it could actually completely throw you off and unbalance you if you suddenly trim up too much or trim down too much. So yeah, not good. So that's dropper that's got that problem. Is that right, Greg?
It certainly is. Let's see how they get away. You can see them on the left-hand side. But with Brady's troubles earlier on, points are about to be given out. We're about to get going. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, 5 seconds for the second and final qualifying race. That's going to be a great start for Brazil. And look at Drogba shooting up on the outside line. But let's see now what Rafa can do, because they are only 1 point behind Brady, who are absent from this race. Westbrook being very, very careful with Lucas Ordonez there on the inside line. Tom Schaap, the French pilot, who had a big collision with Brazil, who's now alongside him last time out in Monaco. Are they all cleared through cleanly? We're looking across now to Brazil, and that's Timmy Hansen attacking, and look at this with Aoki and Westbrook. Did they collide? They were very close to colliding. How can you see where you're going as they come out of turn 1?
Yeah, that's a washing machine effect, that one. So in the dirty water and wash up the boats in front, you just have to keep your foot down and keep going. Clean water is key, and as you can see, Rafa's got that clean water unit. But look at Westbrook. Westbrook are really pushing through there on the boost. You can really see the boost when it comes in, the sort of surge of power that these E1 RaceBirds get.
Looking back from Rafa, that's Brazil on the left. Westbrook is just off to the right-hand side. There's Lucas Ordonez, the 40-year-old Spanish racing driver, and they're trying to close in on Rafa. Westbrook now. Westbrook, of course, the name of Will Smith's Los Angeles-based production company, hence the name of the team. But they've lost a little bit of momentum. I think he's just been tactical perhaps there with the boost as we look back from Rafa to Brazil, who are trying to attack on the outside. Brazil right up alongside Rafa, and Westbrook holding back again, Shelley. We saw this on the opening lap too.
Yeah, Westbrook, Brazil, are actually on the outside there, so they've actually got more distance to travel. But oh, look, great move by them. That was fantastic. He boosted just at the right time, got in front of Rafa, and literally took the lead. Fantastic move there by Team Brazil.
Yeah, Timmy Hansen back in action. He missed Monaco because Drogba seemed to have a problem. They talked about that issue with the boost, and they've dropped right back, so they're not going to be scoring any points, are they, in this race? Remember, it's 3 points for the win, 2 for second, 1 for third. Rafa having a bit of a moment there in that second position. Westbrook on the boost now are gaining. Aoki, not the best of starts for Danny Kloss. As Drogba here at turn 1, they've fallen so far back, and they're just trying to survive and get to the finish, I think, Shelley, as we get through towards half-race distance. This is the end of lap 2 with 4 to go.
Yeah, Drogba will want to finish. Oh no, they're pulling off. That's so... Are they though? No, maybe not. Maybe that was our graphics just playing with us then. If Drogba can just finish, they will at least get a place, and that's what they want. They do not want to pull out at this point. So on board here with, well, not on board, sorry, looking at Westbrook, they seem to be dropping back a little bit, but we've got Rafa there, Aoki, yes, Westbrook definitely seems to be having a problem, which is really unusual for Lucas. He's usually right up there.
So Rafa, if it stays like this, are going to go from 1 point behind to 1 point ahead and grab leadership of E1 from Brady, but back on board with the washing machine that is the Aoki Racing RaceBird. And what can Danny Kloss here do about the Westbrook boat in front of him? If you saw the graphic at the top, obviously it's showing them in 5th, but they're actually 4th. Westbrook are 3rd because of those problems we had for Drogba with Michael Wilkinson. So Drogba in trouble, and they've stopped. So Drogba are indeed, unfortunately, out of the race as we move into the second half now. Brazil with a comfortable lead. They're not really in championship contention. They've had a bad start to the season, 8th, 9th, 8th, the disqualification, but they're looking to back up their Monaco podium with more success here in Nigeria. There's Westbrook, and Westbrook are 5th in the championship.
Aoki are desperately trying to take over Westbrook and move up into that 3rd place, which would give them a point.
Yes, and they are currently 3rd in the championship on 125 points, which is only 10 behind the leaders, Brady. They won't be scoring, they're not even in this race. Oh, look at the moment there. RaceBird moving around the Danny Kloss, Danny who will turn 37 later on this month, the racing driver from outside Barcelona. But he's lost a lot of ground now, hasn't he, to Westbrook, and he's got a lot of work to do now. He has any hope of grabbing that point.
It's the dirty water again, Greg. You can see the mess he's in behind Westbrook there, and it just makes E1 RaceBird so difficult to handle. He's just, and it's very difficult for him to find the clean water. Oh, this is heartbreaking.
Yeah, Michael Wilkinson, nothing he can do about this. Drogba, we know they have, because Sean just told us from down there in the launch zone, problems with the trim, and it's clearly making it almost impossible to handle. So hopefully they can get that sorted out now. They've got the overnight period to make some repairs, but the drone was having a bit of a race there with Team Brazil. They switched to a new boat, if you remember, last time out in Monaco after the dramas of the previous round at Lago Maggiore, but things seem to be hotting up now in the fight, the three-way fight, the triangular shootout for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Look at that lead, Jenny, for Brazil. That's almost a 14-second advantage now for Timmy Hansen. He's dominating, isn't he?
Yeah, that's great for Timmy after missing a race. You feel as if you may have lost it. You know, everyone else had those extra laps out there getting some experience, but no, he's straight back in the driving seat and piloting that E1 RaceBird brilliantly.
Yeah, he's having a beautiful Saturday evening ride, isn't he, here at Lagos, but look back, and you need to look a long way back for Rafa and co, and let's see what Westbrook and Aoki can do. But Brazil now pulling away. Of course, they were the talk of the paddock when we got to Lago Maggiore at round 3, but it certainly seems as though Westbrook now are going to have to start going on the defensive from Aoki as opposed to the offensive, and having a go at Tom Schaap and Rafa. Rafa are on target for leading this championship if they can stay where they are as we now get into the final lap. Teammates all watching on. That was Timmy Hansen's teammate there, Yabanilere Hagen, who's here for the first time, the pilot from Latvia. She's going to be celebrating a win as part of that team in the qualifying race, and 3 important championship points. Now, can Lucas Ordonez, and this is the last lap, hold off Danny Kloss for 3rd and a point? That's the question.
I think he can, unless something goes wrong with Westbrook. I think he can. He has, Lucas has certainly got the skill and the drive, so I think he will be able to do that, no problem.
But Brazil are almost there now in qualifying race 2 here at E1 Lagos GP, coming out of the last corner for 3 worthy championship points. Rafa will be 2nd to take the E1 championship lead. Well done, Brazil. It's been a difficult season so far. That's 3 points for you. But Shelley, we're going to see a leadership change now in E1. Rafa, after all of the emotion of Monaco last time out, takes 2 points to 2nd place. They jump ahead of the absent Brady in this race. Rafa back into the championship lead.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And Westbrook did hold Aoki off.
And there's the gap, as you say, back to Aoki. It was relatively comfortable, wasn't it, in the end, by 7 seconds as Danny Kloss crosses the line. It seemed difficult there, didn't it, for people to follow one another, but pure delight, I'm sure, for Rafa. They know the job's not complete yet, but they have taken the championship lead. This is Chris Lazaraga. Well done, Chris. Delighted with that. P1 indeed, as Tom Schaap crosses the line in 2nd place. There's the team celebrating from the 12-storey balconies of the Black Diamond Hotel, which is mission control for all of the teams and the organisers here in Nigeria. But what an absolutely incredible performance. Let's jump on board with Brazil and Timmy Hansen. Timmy, that's absolutely spectacular. You had a bit of a weekend off from E1 in Monaco. What a way to bounce back. Well done, 3 points.
Yeah, it turned out good holiday weekend for me. So I'm just giving back to Team Brazil. I always say this, but the team has done an absolutely fantastic job. and we won by 4. I'm struggling to get the part here. Fucking up with it, it's sorry. I have not done a good job of parking. But the race was good. The race was better than my parking.
Timmy, you won there by 18 seconds. Are you surprised by it? It looks a bit difficult to get in, so maybe I shouldn't be distracting you. But were you surprised there by the gap?
I was surprised at the end. You know, the battle of the first 2 laps was absolutely crazy. We were 3 boats right onto that first position. But Rafa swallowed at the end of the straight, and then during the 2nd lap, and I was able to get by, and there, I just drove my race, and the gap was growing and growing. I wasn't taking any risk, I was trying to keep it smooth, but usually smooth is fast, and it goes sitting right in the park.
Thanks, Timmy. I'll let you dock. I'll leave you in peace. I think I was distracting him a bit there, Shelley. He's trying to get in, isn't he?
Yeah.
I'm just talking to him all the time.
Can I just say, note to commentators, don't talk to them while they're trying to berth the boat, because it's hard enough berthing a boat anyway, but when you're trying to do it with foils on the side and get into that tiny little launch zone pad, and your little slot there, it's pretty difficult. I'd like to see you do it, Greg.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and maybe Timmy should be speaking to me over the radio at the same time to get a bit of his own back, because that definitely made life difficult. Sorry about that, Timmy, but a great win there of 18.1 seconds. And as for Rafa, I mean, isn't it amazing? They were in tears. Tom had to abandon ship, as it were, back at Monte Carlo, and here they are, 2 points. Brady with their gearbox problems earlier on, which are now solved, but Rafa lead the championship now, Shelley. How quickly things change.
That's what we've seen all season in the E1 series. It's absolutely great, because literally every place we've been to, every venue, we have drama, we have changes of positions, we have different teams, and I think when we go into the finals in Miami, and this is before we've even seen the drama for tomorrow, it's going to be brilliant.
Oh, I couldn't put it better myself. And Saunders was getting himself in position there with our victors. Of course, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but fantastic for them that the championship lead has changed. Saunders, it's all yours. I bet they're pleased.
Tom, so it was second on the water there, but of course secured the points and now changed the championship order and put Team Rafa at the top.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really great result. We are really happy because, as I said at the beginning, we discovered this new boat. We tried to adapt. In this quali race, like Timmy was much faster. I tried to make a good start and then to catch the gap, but obviously we see the difference of the top speed. So, but no, it's really good. The team making an incredible job, so I'm so happy. Now we will have to continue to work to prepare to tomorrow's race.
It was all pretty close quarters in those first few laps. You were getting very, very close in and out of the turns, but when it came to Timmy, he just disappeared, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. I try to manage and to be fast as I can. But then I saw Timmy behind me. Even with the boost, I tried to go in fast, but it was really, really difficult. He have a better pace than us today. So, but it's good. It's good. We have to be happy. We're leading the championship, so it's we have to build the weekend like this. So yeah.
No, you mean to go on. Thanks, Tom. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you very much indeed to Tom, and thank you to Saunders as well. Brilliant performance from Rafa, and wherever Rafa himself is watching on from, I'm sure he will be overjoyed. I thought he was a key member of that team when we were back in Monte Carlo, and things were all going wrong, weren't they, at one point, and they really went through a raft of emotions last time out in July. And I think confidence as well, Shelley, it's obviously a massive part of this whole thing, isn't it? And their headspace is good now, isn't it, at Rafa? It feels like a really happy camp. So well done to Rafa as they win. They win in terms of the championship situation with that second place. Brazil, though, win the qualifying heat there, 18.1 seconds ahead for Timmy Hansen. That is sensational. Rafa very much keeping Westbrook at bay by 7 seconds, and then the same gap back to Aoki. A bit annoyed there, I'm sure, with Danny Kloss, who missed out on a point. And you have to fill for Michael Wilkinson and Drogba, because they were 5th in that particular race officially, but they didn't make the finish with the trim-related problems. So look what it's done for the championship situation for E1 in 2025. Brady were leading Rafa by 1 point, and now it is the other way around. Aoki still on 125. Westbrook moving up a little bit there, they just scored a point, so up to 82. That's the key thing, isn't it? Rafa are in front of the reigning champions, Brady. And this is going to go right down to the wire. Rafa tomorrow will be looking for their second win after Doha. What about Timmy Hansen, though?
Timmy, you were racing in what seemed like another dimension there. 18 seconds ahead, almost from the first corner. Excellently well done.
Yeah, no, it wasn't from the first corner. It was a great battle in the beginning with Tom in the Rafa boat. And I think Lucas was in there too, trying to get mixed up. Well done, Lucas. Good start, man. Yeah, start. But it was just a great battle in the beginning, but he stalled at the end of that straight, and I had more boost than him after a full lap remaining. So it was a bit of tactics going on, a bit of chess, you know. But I was able to get by him, and from there I just tried smooth sailing and smooth as fast in his boats.
You had obviously the harder job of being in the outside lane trying to get into that first corner, but you used the boost and the strategy perfectly to get the job done today.
Yeah, I mean, you always want to use it all the time, but then you don't have it later on. So I kind of didn't use too much on this back straight, just tried to hold on to it. And then I knew my chance would be down there if I could just stay close to Tom. And I was kind of close going in, so then using the boost, I was able to come around the outside, get a great exit onto the straight, and then eventually stalled at the end of the straight, which gave me enough gap to turn in. So it was a great battle.
Well, an excellent start to the weekend and a great way to really maximise the points up for grabs towards the end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the team has done an absolutely huge job on the boat. We got a new team principal, and he has turned the team upside down. He has done a fantastic job so far. So yeah, hats off to Steve Curtis. He's a legend, and it's great to work with him. So yeah, all of the team has done fantastic, and I feel so comfortable driving this boat.
Thanks, Timmy.
Thank you.
Yeah, Steve Curtis, who was the talk of the town back at Lago Maggiore earlier on in the season when he switched from the red team there, Westbrook Racing, to Brazil. And yeah, Shelley, great start wasn't it for Brazil yesterday. Lucas Ordonez from Westbrook, I was chatting with him last night, and he said the boost strategy for Brazil was particularly good. They were saving the boost coming out of turn 1 here, down the back straight as it were, to have more available on the drag that you just calculated for us, and thank you for that, 600 metres from turn 2 all the way down to turn 1. So we said the boost would be crucial, and Brazil seems to have aced it so far.
I just love the fact that the drivers are watching each other because this is such a new series that, you know, it's so new to everybody that they're all picking up on each other's little tidbits of how's he doing that, how's she going around that corner, which I think is brilliant. It's really good. I mean, it's what we all do in any form of motorsport. We watch people who are winning, or why are they winning?
So this race has now put Rafa into the championship lead, 1 point ahead of Brady. Brady said, this is the moment I went, oh, there was definitely concert there, wasn't there, between Aoki near the bang. Aoki and Westbrook, they were quite lucky to get away with that.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't have some damage to Westbrook's engine, because obviously it was the bow of Aoki, which is quite strong, but it really, if that had clipped the canopy of the engine, that could have been a little bit disastrous, to be honest.
Westbrook on board here with Lucas Ordonez, the 40-year-old Spanish racing driver. They overcame a battery issue earlier in the day. Very quick word though on Brady, because although Rafa's taken the championship lead, Brady have done well under pressure, haven't they, in the way they managed to bounce back after the gearbox change.
Very experienced racers, Sam and Emma, and Sam's had a lot of pressures in his life, and he's the coolest cucumber when pressure's on.
So that was qualifying race 2 here yesterday when the first points were given out. 3 of them to Brazil. Well done to Steve Curtis and the whole team. So, still a delay here in Nigeria, but the weather seems to be improving. I hope I'm not jinxing the situation, but we come here off the back of 5 phenomenal rounds so far this season, all starting way back at round 1 at Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. It's the start of the second season of E1 after 2024, and there to talk us through all of the action was Shelley and Gavin Elliott himself.
It is our final. 5 race boats out there and championship points on offer. The win for the weekend on offer. In pole, Team Blue Rising from Virat Kohli, Aoki Racing from Steve Aoki second, Will Smith's Westbrook third, Rafa Nadal's team in fourth, the Tom Brady squad on the outside in fifth. They are lining up. They have to stay in their lanes on the run down towards the first corner, okay? So no encroaching on other pilots. We're just seeing there, Team Blue Rising, Sarah Mizzi, she is ready on that inside line. The last to join looks like it's going to be Tom Schaap in Team Rafa. He's got to get 4th place. The countdown is on. Don't cross before the line. Sarah Mizzi there. Got to get it up on the foils. Here we go then. It's the final here in Jeddah for E1 GP, the opening round of 2025. And we are go. And look at the start from Westbrook Racing in the middle there. They had no problems before. Aoki Racing in second. And then on the inside, Sarah Mizzi will have a good line down towards that first corner. But now you see Danny Kloss getting the boost just right as they drop it down towards this first smart mark. And it's going to be Aoki Racing. And Danny Kloss, he's been superb all weekend. So is his teammate Michelle Alomaidan. Oh, big wash behind him for Lucas Ordonez. And Sarah Mizzi has fought back on the inside of Ordonez, and she's taken second place from the Spaniard.
That was perfect racing from Aoki there. He used his boost just at the perfect time, and Sarah Mizzi. But look at the battle back here. We've got Westbrook in third.
Oh, seriously competitive as well as Sam Coleman diving to the inside of that smart mark alongside Lucas Ordonez, but now he will be put on the outside. And there is Coleman, the reigning champions. Look at this, foils abound between them. Oh, and Brady, here he goes. Sam Coleman on the inside, stunning stuff from the Brit. And he takes off in the background as he fires it through on the inside of Ordonez. He has gone wide. Is he going to be able to hold that position? Wow, the race directors will be having a look at this battle between them. He has to give way to Ordonez through that final corner, but it's oh so tight in there. There are foil to foil. What drama! It's just the opening lap of this final here in Jeddah.
But look how close Rafa is behind them as well. It's not just those two, there's 3 of them in the thick of it.
All in dirty water as well, no doubt about our leader though. It's Steve Aoki's Danny Kloss who's leading from Virat Kohli's Blue Rising, and Sarah Mizzi in second place. And again we're on board with Westbrook. It's going to be the inside, it's going to be the shortcut. They're getting away from each other here. Ordonez and Sam Coleman. As we said, there's a target on Sam Coleman as he brings back as Emma Kimberliner watches on. Team Blue Rising and Sarah Mizzi, they've done just what John Peters did in that previous race. They've gone for the long lap early.
Great strategy there. It's got her into some lovely clean water. She can now gain back up and actually get back that lovely first position she had. But Aoki Racing, perfect.
Yeah, they actually look almost unbeatable now from out here in clear water out the front. Danny Kloss has been one of the fastest pilots of the weekend. I'm so intrigued to see the tactics now. Brady, Rafa, none of them have taken long or short laps. Blue Rising, the only team so far to have done the long lap. So while they are last on the course at the moment, just you wait until they perhaps take that short lap, and it will completely change again. I'm not sure anyone is going to be able to head off Danny Kloss in the Aoki Racing boat though, because they are comfortably out in front. In second place on the water is Westbrook Racing today. Yes, just seen them come round. There they are, going on the standard course. And now Sam Coleman going for the inside for Team Brady. This is going to be an interesting merge. They've already had their scraps on that previous lap on the opener, and now we're going to see Sam Coleman and Lucas Ordonez merge together. But it looks like Lucas has got the edge over Sam now.
Yeah, I think Sam was definitely hoping to come in a bit closer to there, or even take Westbrook again, but he didn't. But he's moved across the dirty water into the clean water. He's got a big job to do with Team Brady there. I think what they did with Team Blue Rising, sending her out on that long lap and getting her calm and into the clean water, was a really good move. I really hope she can get this back.
Danny Kloss takes the little kick of turn 1. He has got a 14.6 second lead over Lucas Ordonez in the Team Westbrook boat, and they still both have to do their long laps. Team Blue Rising in 4th place and now ahead of Tom Schaap and Team Rafa, who has also done his long lap loop. And it's Team Brady there in 3rd behind Lucas Ordonez. I wonder here, now from Brady's point of view, do they go for the long lap on this occasion? I think that they might just be doing that right now. Sam Coleman is going off for Team Brady, the reigning champions, go for their long lap. And this is going to be the interesting bit for Sarah Mizzi and Blue Rising to see where Sam Coleman rejoins. This is going to be fascinating. Does she go for the short run? I thought you might have done it just to edge in front. Team Rafa are going for that short loop. So he now leapfrogs, Tom Schaap leapfrogs, and this is going to be another close run thing. Coleman on the far side for Team Brady. For Team Rafa, it's Schaap on the inside, and Schaap has the edge over the drift.
Team Blue Rising should have done their short lap then, because she would have got straight back into this little gangle here of Rafa, Brady and Westbrook. But they didn't call it, so she didn't do it, bless her. Aoki, now their lead, 17 seconds it was now, gone down to 16 seconds. He could easily do that long lap with no problem, but they're literally giving him to the last minute.
This is Team Rafa's boats with Tom Schaap, Powerboat champion, inside. He's been great. He has been the fastest pilot of the weekend so far, and he's currently sat in third place in this race on the variable boost. You can just see it flashes green when the pilots stick that boost in. It gives them an extra 50 kilowatts of power, and it really means they can push along. We're right on board now with Sarah Mizir and Virat Kohli's Team Blue Rising. Around the short lap, here we go on this occasion from Sarah Mizir, just on the inside. Is she going to get past Tom Brady? She's going to get past Team Rafa. I think Tom Schaap could just have the edge here. It's going to be close, isn't it? We head down towards that turn 5 smart mark, just at the back of the course. And Tom Schaap just sticks his nose in front. So we are on board, looking back at Sarah Mizir in Virat Kohli's Blue Rising boat. We've got Team Rafa behind. Team Rafa with Tom Schaap in third place, looking to secure that place on the podium. Now, the interesting thing here, Shelley, we're on to the final lap of the race. On to the final lap, okay? And the gap between Westbrook and Rafa stands at about 13. Tom Schaap could have rescued the second place here. I don't think there's any doubt about Aoki Racing and the fact that they're going to win. But who's going to be second and third behind them on the podium? Because I'll remind you, Will Smith's Westbrook Racing are just now going for the long lap loop. They're right at the far part of the inlet. You can just see them looping round. So Team Rafa definitely in second. Our Blue Rising going to be able to take a brilliant first podium in third place. I think they may well be about to do so.
Yes, I'm sure she's definitely got it. She's going to be in front of him. There she goes. Yes.
You've got to be so pleased, haven't you? For Virat Kohli's Team Blue Rising, no podiums last year, but they pick up one here today, I'm sure. Team Rafa is in second place, but our winners in front of the boss, from the deck to the dock, Steve Aoki's team, now on Light during both music and in motorsport. Danny Kloss has done it for Steve and the Aoki Racing team. Out on the water here in Jeddah. Our first round of E1 has been a cracker. Team Rafa, Rafa Nadal's boat comes home in second with Tom Schaap. Team Blue Rising for Virat Kohli, and the rookie Sarah Mizir picks up a podium in third. Will Smith's Westbrook Racing in fourth, with Sam Coleman and Team Brady, the reigning champions, picking up fifth place. But it's a full complement of 38 championship points for Aoki Racing. Wow, they were 8th in the championship last year, and suddenly they will sit in top spot after our first weekend here in Saudi Arabia. Look at what it means. Look at what it means to Danny Kloss.
I am so pleased for that team. They just didn't quite get it together last year, and today, first race out of the E1 World Championships 25 and on the top.
Well, here in Jeddah, we've had a brilliant day of racing. It's all rounded off with Aoki Racing taking the spoils as the opening winner of the year. They take the full complement of 38 points, with Michelle Alabadan and Danny Kloss supreme in that boat today. Team Rafa, Tom Schaap and Christine Lasaraga take second place, second spot on the podium. And the first podium for Virat Kohli's Team Blue Rising in third. Sarah Mizir doing absolutely brilliantly to bring it home in third ahead of Westbrook and the champion Team Brady.
That was Gavin Emmett there, back at round 1 in Saudi Arabia. Time flies when you're having fun. Hard to believe that's already 9 months ago. Fast forward then to early October, and this is the situation right here, right now in Nigeria after qualifying race 2 yesterday. Rafa scored 2 points, So they've gone from 1 point behind Brady, the reigning champions, as Gav just said there, to 1 point in front. Westbrook managed to score a point yesterday as well, and Brazil are up 3, but it was a difficult start to the season, but they're definitely making improvements now that Steve Curtis has joined them from Westbrook earlier on in the campaign. Still a weather delay here at Lagos, but everybody watching on and just with anticipation, really hoping that we get going as soon as possible with what will be the group stage races, and it will all be about seeding for lane position and starting orders as we move to the all-important final later on, when a maximum 38 points will be available with only 1 round ahead of us in Miami, in Florida, next month. As we saw earlier, it's a little bit difficult berthing the boat at times, but it really is, Shelley, great, isn't it, to be here on the African continent for the first time. We've received a superb reception from all of the locals, and it feels like the whole of Lagos is talking about E1 right now.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, we have done lots of racing over the years in South Africa with lots of different classes, but to actually be in Lagos now is great, and everyone is just so welcoming. That's what's so lovely about it. Unfortunately, that was yesterday, I think, in the sun. Yeah. Oh, no, maybe we are in the rain now. The weather is so changeable out there. The water looks absolutely calm. It looks gorgeous. That was definitely yesterday.
Yeah, I think the situation was with Chris Lazaragas, who was using the umbrella to shade herself from the sunshine yesterday, and now being used for the more conventional reason with the rain pouring down. But yeah, it was great, wasn't it, to see everybody out there here on the Lagos Lagoon for the first time, looking across from Victoria Island to Lagos Island on the other side. We're just down in the North Atlantic off the Gulf of Guinea. Okay, well, we've seen round 1, that was back in January. Then the championship went on, didn't it, the next month in February. And Shelley, you were there again with Gav to talk through all of the action, with Aiki looking to preserve their championship lead. Round 2 was Doha in Qatar back in February. Which surprises would be in store this time?
Inside line for Sam Coleman, lane 1. Lane 2 for Team Rafa and Christina Lasaraga. Didier Drogba's Michael Wilkinson in lane 3. Will Smith in attendance here this weekend sees Lucas Ordonez inside that beautifully turned out red RaceBird. And the even more stunning pink and blue Oki Racing RaceBird of Danny Kloss will be on the outside lane in 5. They are flying as the clock ticks down. We are racing here in Qatar. Don't cross the line too early on the outside. Danny Kloss for Oki Racing should have been okay. They all get away beautifully. But look at how much Christina Lasaraga is trying to squeeze Sam Coleman on the inside. But Coleman digs his right wing in for Team Brady and should be able to hold her off at turn 1. Great start from Coleman. Great start from Lasaraga in second for Team Rafa. Michael Wilkinson for Team Drogba, his first E1 final, and he's there in 3rd place. And that has meant behind him Lucas Ordonez forced to sit up. And what about this move from Chris Lasaraga on the inside? Sam Coleman is now on the boost. Foil to foil, win to win, side by side, and a jump in the air for Christina Lasaraga. She holds on to the lead. What a performance from the Spaniard.
That was incredible. That start was just textbook. It was perfect. It looked like a picture. But Chris Lasaraga, what an amazing move she made there.
She is in the lead of this race. Team Rafa have never, ever won an E1 GP before, and it could be their chance here in Doha now. She leads. Sam Coleman in second for Team Brady. Michael Wilkinson there in 3rd for Team Drogba. And Lucas Ordonez and Danny Kloss, the 2 Spaniards, are scrapping it out, slugging it out on the water at the far end of the course. Kloss on the boost on the outside. This is going to be a tight squeeze as we head to the yellow mark. He's got together on his right side, and Danny Kloss has taken it. They're level, neck and neck. Ordonez has a little bit of boost. Kloss now gets back on the boost. This is the best E1 racing we have seen, no doubt about it. As they go side by side once more, Ordonez, Will Smith's Westbrook Racing takes to the short lap.
Yeah, I thought they would. But did we have our leader? Did Christina Lasaraga take it? Yes, she did. Of course, that is the normal strategy that they take.
And what that's done is Sam Coleman has been dropped back to 4th place because Michael Wilkinson also took the short lap for Didier Drogba's team. And the problem for Sam Coleman and Team Brady is now he is in the dirty water. Wow! Where has he come from there? He's just boosted his way past Lucas Ordonez, and he reclaims track position on the course. I wonder if he'll go for the long lap here. Yes, straight away. Team Brady, strategy coming into it now, Shelley. They go straight for the long lap, where Christina Lasaraga did the short lap.
That was an absolute perfect call from Mission Control or Emma to tell him to do the long lap now to get into the clean water.
So remarkably, Team Brady, having started in pole position, are at the back of this race, but Dane and Aoki in front of them have not done their short lap. Something to bear in mind as we go further in this race. The problem for Sam Coleman is dirty water. He's in a lot of turbulent water, you can see just in the back of your picture. So he just can't be smooth, he can't show the pace that you've got. And now Sam Coleman straight away, he's going for that short lap now. So he's going to reclaim a position here, but I think Michael Wilkinson is going to rejoin ahead of him.
Of course, our top three haven't done their long lap either, so that could change it all again. This is an amazing race.
I mean, I'll try and work it out. I mean, he's winning there, Sam Coleman, and he's now flying it up on the foils once more. You want to see daylight between the hull and the water, and he quickly, after digging in the wing to get it turned, he was back up there and flying over the surface. So as it stands, on the water, Christina Lasaraga is leading for Rafael Nadal's squad. Second place for Steve Aoki, Stanislas. Michael Wilkinson is third for Didier Drogba's team. Fourth for Team Brady and Sam Coleman. And fifth for Westbrook Racing and Lucas Ordonez. But Lucas is just gone for the long lap loop. However, 1, 2 and 3, Rafa, Aoki and Drogba have not done their long laps.
This is all to play for. It could be anyone's race. With Christina's 12-second gap between second place, I think she's got enough to do her long lap, but that's going to be tight. There's only 2 seconds to play for there.
Well, what it has shown though is that Sam Coleman, having now done that short lap, is not going to be doing the undercut, is he? When she does her long lap, she should rejoin in the lead. The sensible thing now, from a strategy point of view, Shelley, is to keep on the normal lap, just build your lead.
Yes, I would keep on the normal lap, get as, she's doing it, well done Chris, I'm glad I'm communicating to you.
Are you sure that you're not in a area and not
yes, just get as much lead as she can. She's got to keep it smooth, she's got to keep it flying. Look at the concentration there.
So calm, so cool, isn't she? Down there. Yeah, we've seen aggression throughout the weekend, but there's no doubt about it. Christina Lasaraga has been our fastest pilot of the weekend.
Yep, she's got the engine trimmed out just a little bit, but not too much, and it's level, which means that she's keeping it very nice and stable. She's not taking any risks, which is exactly what she needs to do there. She's now got a 14-second lead. She should be able to do her long lap with ease.
You know what the best bit about this is? No penalties, it's as we see on the screen, as we see on the water. I'll remind you, Team Rafa were second in Jeddah. They have more E1 podiums than anyone. They have 4 to their name. But Rafael Nadal's team have never won an E1 race before. And as it stands, Christina Lasaraga is in the lead. Heading out to the far part of the circuit, there are just a lap and a half to go in it. She's staying on the normal course. So on her final lap, she will have to do the long lap. Behind, still, Aoki Racing and Team Drogba are in second and third. Still, Sam Coleman will harbour hopes of a podium here. However, it's going to be tight between himself and Michael Wilkinson in the Team Drogba boat.
Yeah, he's got about a 10-second gap. So Sam Coleman is going to have to put in a really tight lap. Here we go. Let's see if they can do this.
So Rafa leading, Aoki Racing in second, championship leaders of course. Drogba now going, and I think Brady will get the undercut here. Coleman had made up some time on Michael Wilkinson on that previous lap, and he's able to come through. There you can see it after the virtual map. This is the real course, and you can see Michael Wilkinson coming back round. But I tell you what, 4th place for Didier Drogba's team is some turnaround, isn't it, from being last back in Jeddah.
Yeah, it's a great improvement for them. I am so pleased. Christina Lasaraga doing an amazing move here. Just her final race, it's just textbook.
It is. She still has the long lap to perform in this final go-around. Here we go then. She'll head out towards these white boys just at the far part, the smart marks that mark this long lap loop. She has 15 seconds ahead of Danny Kloss, but the Spaniard in turn has to do another long lap penalty. Just bear that in mind. Behind, Danny Kloss has 19 seconds over Sam Coleman, so should, when he goes to this long lap loop, rejoin in second place. Back-to-back podiums for the OG Racing team, and that's bearing in mind they've never had one previously, so a brilliant start to the year, the Steam OG squad.
And it must still keep them in the lead on the championship table, I believe. We have to check those points. But
yeah, it's going to be tight, isn't it? It's going to be tight because as it stands, Rafa a second, 6 points behind OG Racing. They may well just sneak ahead of it by the end of the day with 38 points for the win and 30 for second place. But I don't think you can hear Christina already in the RaceBird. There is any doubt about her winners here this weekend. Never won before, but Rafael Nadal knows how to build champions, doesn't he? Team Rafa smashing it on the water this weekend. It's game, set and match for Christina Lassaraga as she wins here in Qatar, takes to the victory and takes to the lead in the World Championship. They have finally broken their victory-winning duck. Danny Kloss is going to come home. What a turnaround from OG Racing to get up there. They started the first final in last place. They've taken second here in this one. Superb. We said you could write him off. Team Brady are going to get back onto the podium for the first time this year. So Tom Brady's team of Sam Coleman and Nicky Linen do the job to take third place. Team Drogba are going to take fourth. Will Smith can be happy that they turned around their weekend. Not quite the Hollywood ending he would have hoped for, but fifth place for Westbrook Racing across the line. Perhaps more than they could have hoped for yesterday.
And is it right that it's the first time we've had a qualifying winning team and a GP winning team? They made history here in the Doha race.
Superb. First time winners for Team Rafa, who of course had such a brilliant first season with their pilots last year. Finished fourth in the championship, had those 3 podiums, but finally Tom Schack can celebrate because Team Rafa are the winners of round 2 here in Qatar. Against adversity, fought it back, winning the opening round, second here. And we've got our rivalry being set up for the year ahead between Team Rafa and Team OG. Rafael Nadal's team of Tom Schaap on the right, Christina Lassaraga on the left, celebrate quite rightly their victory in the Visit Qatar E1 Doha GP. Team Rafa reigning supreme and serving up their first victory. Christina Lassaraga, the PIF pilot of the day, and fully deserved. She was the fastest pilot on Friday for qualifying, and then in the final, that was just a sublime performance. Danny Kloss, very close, I'm sure. OG Racing in second. Team Brady round out the podium in third with Sam Coleman. Didier Drogba's squad, season's best so far of 4, with Will Smith's Westbrook Racing rounding out for a 5th place finish.
Well, I think that reaction there from Chris Lassaraga back at Doha was one of the happiest, most joyous reactions we've seen from anybody so far in nearly 2 full seasons now of E1. But just listen to that, the rain still pouring down here in Nigeria. There's the weather situation, just over 24 degrees Celsius. Ambient temperature, humidity though, that's the real killer here, touching on 80%. And let's just hope, fingers crossed, that we do get some action underway sooner rather than later here at the UAM E1 Lagos GP presented by First Bank. It's round 6 of 7 for 2025. And Shelley, a relatively straightforward layout for this one.
Yeah, lovely. It's like a kidney bean of the course here in Lagos. The standard lap is 1.2 kilometres. The long lap, which they have to do one of during each race, is 1.4 kilometres. And the short lap, which they also have to do one of, is just 1 kilometre. We have 6 laps in total, but when you take that long lap and that short lap is the winner. And that is very, very strategic planning by the whole team.
And that's something we've obviously not seen so far, because on day one we don't have the short and long laps. We also saw the Black Diamond Hotel there. Everybody's up on the 12th floor. That's where all of the teams are based. We've gone through the qualifying time trials and the qualifying races, the highlights of which you saw just a few moments ago, and then of course the reviews of the opening round of the season. We're into the group stages next. The initial group stages decide your starting order for the second group races, and then later on there will be 38 points available for the big final. Don't forget, the fastest lap of the day as well scores an extra point, which is absolutely critical in the championship. Still waiting for the weather to improve here in Nigeria. Round 3 of the season for 2025 took place in June in the beautiful surroundings of the Adriatic Sea, just across the water from Italy. We were in Croatia, and it was so tight at the top of the championship after Rafa's win in Qatar.
Final 2. The grand final. The points about to be handed out. This will decide who takes home the trophies. Lining up in pole positions, Tom Brady's team, Rafa Nadal's squad in lane 2, Steve Aoki's racing team in lane 3, the LeBron James team Alula in lane 4, and Virat Kohli's Blue Rising will be on the outside in lane 5. In the RaceBird for Team Blue Rising is American John Peters, vastly experienced powerboat racer, has used that experience to its fullest here this weekend in Dubrovnik. Can he perform another minor miracle and come from the outside lane to take victory in this grand final? LeBron James's team Alula sees Katie Munnings inside the cockpit. Had a disaster when she hit the smart mark earlier today, was washed into it, but they recovered well to line up in lane 4 for this final. First time this team has been in a final, so can they perform the slam dunk required to take the trophy here today for LeBron James? Victorious in the opening round in Jeddah, second in Doha. Danny Kloss is going to be inside the RaceBird for Aoki Racing. He has some searing pace this weekend. How can he claw back the 4-point advantage that Team Rafa have in the championship? 74 plays 70. It's Christina Lazaraga who will be inside the RaceBird. Had a disaster earlier today with a 40-second penalty for jumping the start. I'm sure she won't get it wrong again, because she is a really special racer here in E1. But the reigning champions, Team Brady and Sam Coleman, is going to be inside the RaceBird for this final race. And his setup isn't necessarily quite where he'd like it, but he has the prime position. He's on pole, on the inside, heading down to turn 1 on this opening lap. Temperatures 27 degrees as we count down the clock to the start of our final race here in Croatia. Five boats are in the water, Shelley, and this is the course they'll have to take for the next 6 laps.
Yes, they've got 6 laps, but they have to take 1 as a long lap and 1 as a short lap. And it's so strategic of where you take that, because you can win or lose a race just there by doing it wrong.
10 seconds saved by doing the short lap, 10 seconds more than a regular lap for doing the long lap. Strategy will come into play. There's wash to contend with, there's chop in the water, there's this busy port as shown throughout the weekend. They are starting to get into their positions as we get ready to go racing here in Dubrovnik. The clock counts down from 20 seconds. The red and white smart marks on the course denote the line. You happen to get in front of the line before that clock counts down to 0. Team Brady on the inside, Aoki alongside, Team Rafa coming from a long way back as we get ready to go. Foils up, we are racing here in Dubrovnik, and away we go. A good start from Team Blue Rising on the outside, from John Peters. He's got a little launch to his inside. Katie Munnings for LeBron James, Team Alula is in that. And Danny Kloss is going to take the lead at turn 1. Team Brady pushed back to 4th place off the start, and it's Aoki Racing who leads us out. It's Team Blue Rising in second. In third place is Team Alula and Katie Munnings. Then it's Team Brady, and then at the back is Team Rafa, who just didn't quite get the start right. Christina Lasaraga, having been caught out earlier, was just a little bit circumspect off the line.
That was a beautiful corner by High-octane Racing there in the lead. They just literally whipped it round to the corner.
Oh, around the outside here is this Katie Munnings. Wow, she just looks in fine form in this final. Disappointment earlier today when she caught the smart mark, but she's going to have the line down towards the final turn, and she has made up a couple of positions already at the start of the race. There is a protest going in already from Team Brady to High-octane Racing, and now Sam Coleman's coming back on the inside with the boost, and he's got ahead of John Peters, who's lost another spot there. Christina Lasaraga now on the inside of Blue Rising. They are going to collide, surely. Oh, the smart mark is hit again by Christina Lasaraga in the final corner. John Peters is just dropping backwards, just hasn't quite got the pace at the moment. On board we are with Team Rafa at the front. High-octane Racing leading. In second place, Katie Munnings for Team Alula, and Sam Coleman starting to come back at her, but Katie has now got that inside line into turn one. So, we've got a protest ongoing between Team Brady and High-octane Racing for their line being taken away off the start, but I'm not sure whether anything's going to be done about that, as are they all going? No, two of them have gone for the short laps, three of them in fact, because High-octane out front, and then in second place we have got Alula, and then Team Brady, Sam Coleman all over the back of Katie Munnings as they all dive for that short lap early on in this race, Shelley.
I thought it was a perfect start, to be honest. It looked very clean, everyone kept their line, so I don't think anyone's actually got any reason to complain there. But yes, Sam is all over Katie in front in Team Alula, and he is not going to let her go. That's why they took their short lap together.
That was tight. That's where the smart mark got hit in the final corner. It looked like a tight turn from Brady, didn't it, from Sam Coleman now. I think the smart mark's missing.
I think it's actually moved. I think it's been knocked off of its little signal. Let's see if they can put it back with the GPS.
Yeah, they are smart marks. They do not anchor to the ground or anything. That's all part of the environmental strategy of E1. They are all controlled by GPS as Sam Coleman goes a long way around on the outside of Katie Munnings at turn one. Still running close out front.
She is not... Oh!
That was cut right across there. Sam Coleman heading up towards turn two. I wonder if Katie has decided to go. Yes, I think she's gone for the long lap here. Try and get it out of the system, this long lap. And that will be Katie done then. She'll have completed her long and short laps in this race.
That was a great move by Team Alula, because she was in the mess with Sam. They were fighting, so she's gone out into the clean water and taken a long lap. Fabulous move by Team Alula.
Good work from Katie, good work from Mission Control for LeBron James's team. On the course now, so Danny Kloss is leading for High-octane Racing, still has his long lap to take. Here's the rejoin. Oh, and she's just going to, that's the unfortunate bit there. Katie Munnings now rejoins her alongside Christina Lasaraga in the Team Rafa boat. Christina still has a long and short lap to take. But I'll tell you what, that Alula boat in this race looks in good nick. That change of foils is from where?
Well,
must be the tape.
Keep the tape on, guys, because Team Alula are flying. Katie's doing a fantastic job. Christina's still got to do her long lap, so Katie is in a great position there.
All the while, High-octane Racing and Danny Kloss are out front, winners of the opening round in Jeddah. Here comes Christina Lasaraga on the inside on the Team Rafa RaceBird, and then Katie Munnings for Alula there in fourth place. A reminder, Christina still has to take a long lap for Team Rafa. Here's Danny Kloss. And here we go. We have got I do not believe what we're hearing here. We have just been told High-octane Racing, leading this race by 10 seconds, have to take an extra long lap, a long lap penalty for Danny Kloss. This changes things yet again. This brings Team Brady, it brings Team Alula, it brings Team Rafa all back into it, and we are none the wiser to see who is going to take this. That means these last 2 laps now here for Danny Kloss for High-octane Racing, it means that they will both be long laps.
And Christina has to do her long and short lap still, so this is all to play for.
And Sam Coleman also has a long lap. Katie Munnings has done all hers off, and Christina Lasaraga takes off in the RaceBird behind John Peters, who somehow comes back into it. John still has his short lap to take. This is confusion all across, but I tell you, this is all going to shuffle out in a lap and a half's time. As Danny Kloss sets off, he's got to now, for Aoki Racing, top of your screens, he's going on the long lap. So that's Virat Kohli's Blue Rising in 4th on the water. Team Rapper in 5th on the water, but it could well change here. We're on board with Danny Kloss. Around this long lap, we'll have an extra 10 seconds effectively added to his time. There's a lot of conversations going on with the radios, with mission control, with race control, and there you can see now, on this rejoin, on the merge, Danny Kloss will emerge in front of Sam Coleman, will he? This one's going to be tight. On board with Danny Kloss, that is Sam Coleman. They both have still to take a long lap yet in this race.
Oh my gosh. So why were we given a long lap? Do we know what the penalty was for?
I'm assuming it was for turn 1, but it's taken a long time to come, hasn't it? So both these two boats out in front will have to take a long lap. Keep your eye on John Peters in 3rd for Team Blue Rising. For Virat Kohli here, they're predicted to move up to 2nd, but there's every chance they could move up to win this race because Aoki have another long lap to take. Virat Kohli's squad here from the outside could take victory. We are on our final lap. The leader has to take another long lap. The second place boat, Sam Coleman and Team Brady, has to take another long lap. But John Peters has taken already his long and short lap. Is it going to be enough?
IQ is keeping Sam off there. He's doing really well. Well done, Danny.
This is going to come down to the wire here. This is going to be such a tight finish to this race. Is there any way through for Sam Coleman? Look at how the Welshman is trying to get in the clean water, trying to drive his way past. The Brady boat looks in fine nick, fine fettle here. Don't forget, there's still John Peters to come through. He did already take his short lap, so I'm not sure he's going to be able to join in the battle for the lead. And despite that long lap penalty, oh my goodness, we've just had a long lap penalty come in for Team Blue Rising as well. So that was for pushing Team Rapper into the smart mark. John Peters has copped another penalty, his 3rd of the weekend, and that's going to change the podium positions because look where Katie Munnins is. Well, there's not going to be time for him to take that, so it'll be another 20 seconds added to it. Chaos here in Dubrovnik, chaos in Croatia, but I think we're going to see Aoki Racing, despite that extra penalty. Yes, it's going to be from the DJ booth to the RaceBird cockpit. Steve Aoki's team have turned up the volume in Racestream here today, and Danny Kloss does it in Dubrovnik. Team Brady takes 2nd place with Sam Coleman. There's still a penalty to come for John Peters and Virat Kohli's Team Blue Rising in 3rd. Katie Munnings could have had a superb race there. It could well be 3rd place for her across the line. And 5th for Team Rafa and Christina Lasaraga. But that is some chaos here in Croatia, isn't it, Shelley? So hard to get a read on it. But Danny Kloss has come on with the goods when it mattered.
He is, and look at the excitement in that cockpit. That is electrifying. They are so happy.
Well. Danny Kloss, that is delight. Well, I wonder if he's going to be able to catch his breath after that one. Wow, what a race we have had here in Dubrovnik. Let's see if we can speak to Danny if he's finally stopped punching the air, because Danny, what a performance. You had a long lap penalty to take and somehow emerged in front to take victory here in Croatia. How on earth did you manage that, Danny?
Let's do this! It was amazing! Man, I couldn't believe, really, I couldn't believe that I got penalized. It was perfect from my point of view, from my everything, it was perfect start. But we were consistent, we were patient, we were focused. The team was amazing. You know, I'm so happy with the Aoki Racing team. Michelle did a great job before all the weekend, and next level. We're good, happy. I'll see you now, guys. I'll see you.
Danny, you are now the championship leaders as well. What a turnaround from last year. 2 victories already this season.
Amazing. I want to cry, man.
You can enjoy it with the team, Danny. Huge congratulations. huge congratulations to Steve Aoki and his squad, because to turn it up there, Shelley, right when the pressure's on, when you get slapped with a long lap penalty, and he has pulled out a couple of best first sector, best third sector, best lap of that race with a 118.2. What a performance.
Well, to park that fury in your brain when you're given a long lap penalty, it's so clever, because your immediate reaction is to get all angry, lose the balance, lose control, and he didn't. He kept it cool and he drove it home to win.
Aoki Racing take victory for the second time this season. Penalty for Michel Lobadan in the first final. Penalty for Danny Kloss in the grand final. And yet, still despite all that, they take the full complement of 38 points for victory in the Dubrovnik Grand Prix. That's great sportsmanship from Tom Chapman's team Rafa, who in the end took fourth place in that race with the penalty added to John Peters' time. At one point on that last lap, we thought John Peters might win it, and he ends up in the end for Virat Kohli's Team Blue Rising in last spot. There is Aoki Racing on top, Team Brady second, Team Lula third with Katie Munnings. Their first podium in just their third race. Then it's Rafa fourth and Virat Kohli's team in fifth.
But how quickly time changed. We went off next in June to Lago Maggiore, where Aoki didn't even make the final in the shadow of the Alps.
So here we go then, this is how they line up for final two. I will just stress, Alula are not starting, so Brady have lane one on the inside line with Sam Coleman, and that is where they want to be. They need to time the starting procedure correctly. So, Alula out of action, 4 remain. It is John Peters ahead of his birthday on Monday, the experienced powerboat racer from the States. He makes absolutely fantastic start, so let's see what he can do from lane 4 on the outside. Rafa Nadal will be egging on Tom Chat here, the Frenchman. He's a champion in karting on 4 wheels as well as powerboat racing. Let's hope he can stay out of trouble. We've had some incidents into the first corner. He's in lane 3. Here then is Westbrook Racing, and this is Sarah Price, professional stuntwoman. It's probably just as well with some of the antics we've seen in the field so far this weekend. Lane 2, can she blast ahead with the boost, I wonder, on the run to turn 1? But Tom Brady's team, and they've looked so good, haven't they, all weekend long. We've seen brilliant efforts from Emma Kimmelainen, and now it is down to Sam Coleman here in the final to get away cleanly. Remember, they have to take 1 long lap and 1 short lap across the 6 laps coming up now, with the maximum 38 points available for victory. Saunders, this is it. This is what they've built up to for the entire event. You can see Blue Rising just further behind everyone else. They want a better run-up, don't they, to the line?
That's sort of John Peters' special, I think, almost trying to be at the back of that order, because he's in the least advantageous position when it comes to lane start. He's in the outside lane, has to do all of the work to come across into to follow the course. So he kind of wants to maybe use as much speed as possible to cross the line at that perfect moment and take all that speed into the first turn, hopefully ahead. But I tell you what, he's got some competition, because there's a lot of good caliber and strong competition right next to him.
Yeah, Team Blue Rising incidentally with John Peters at the helm there, owned by Virat Kohli, the 36-year-old from Delhi, the Indian international cricketer and former captain. So we are now on board. On our left is Rafa. This is the view from Blue Rising. It's so calm at the moment, and it won't be calm for long because we're just seconds away now. 22 seconds to be precise. Away from final 2 here with 38 points available and potentially leadership of E1 changing ahead of Monte Carlo in 3 weeks' time. See who's on the boost. You'll get the yellow flag turning to a green flag, and once they get the green, they're able to cross the line. If not, penalties will be given. 3, 2,
1. That's a clean start. Yellow becomes green, and we're down into turn 1. Can we get it nice and tidy? No incidents on this first turn. Oh, good evasive manoeuvre there from Team Brady to avoid the Westbrook road that was coming right into the right-hand side of them. As we go on board now, Team Brady into the lead, followed by Rafa, Blue Rising, and then Westbrook behind.
Yeah, that's bad news, isn't it, for Sarah Price and Westbrook, but she's got a grandstand view now, a nice smooth little bit of water in front of us as well. Brady then are leading the black boat at the front of the pack. Tom Chap now for Rafa, he's up into second place, but John Peters is trying to swing on the outside. Oh, careful not to hit the smart mark on the inside, Tom, and that was great driving there from the Rafa pilot. Oh, but now he does touch the smart mark.
You're always trying to get as nice and tidy through those turns as much as you can, but you're also trying to avoid the wake of the pilot in front, because you can't control the RaceBird, you get caught up in that. It's very hard to manage.
That's the second time that smart mark has been hit actually by Rafa. When Tom was driving yesterday, the same thing happened. As we get down to the final corner, this is the first opportunity to take the short lap. Let's see if anybody does. Well, Brady, are they going to? I think they are cleaning it. Yes, they are.
That's exactly what you want to do. You want to avoid anybody getting the undercut on you, but keeping out, getting to the short lap, you retain that clean water, and that helps you to just keep pulling ahead. So when you come around to do your long lap, you don't lose extra time.
So I suppose then in the case orders of Rafa, for example, they're in third place. They've dropped back intentionally, haven't they, by not doing the short lap, so they don't have any wake in front of them now as Brady and Team Blue Rising get up to the far end of the course, and they're continuing on the standard lap there.
So let's see now if your call is right there, Greg, and Tom Chap and Rafa go into that long lap now, or when they leave it a little bit longer, maybe there's still a chance to build up more pace and a little bit more balance in the RaceBird. It looks like they haven't done it this time around, but maybe we can. With Team Westbrook, they have done it, so their strategy on the opposite side.
Yeah, so they're obviously at the back. We're on board with Sarah Price now, the American, as she comes through the second part of the long lap zone, delineated there by the green smart marks. So some nice clear water in front of her now. You can see at the top of the screen, as the graphic just ticks over, one long lap completed. It's one long and one short in this race. Don't forget, we have 38 points available for the win. Brady then with the lead, they've done their short lap. Second is Blue Rising, ditto, they've done their short lap. And Rafa, look, Tom Chap's just pushing on the moment, and then he's just happy to continue on the main course.
They've clearly got a strategy that they're hoping to execute and hoping it does well, maybe towards the last few laps of this race. We have seen strategy work really well for them. They've actually been kind of strategic masters when it comes to other events so far this weekend.
They'll be operating the trim as well with the fingers of their right hand, the paddles on the back of the wheel, and there's also the green and yellow buttons for trim, incremental increases and decreases by plus or minus 10, which is a more dramatic effect to get that boat slowed down. It took me all weekend, but I did it in the end, to get that boat slowed down, and now they're into the last corner there with Brady. So let's have a look, because we've still got a long lap to go, but at the moment, with the clear lead he has and pulling away, it makes sense to just keep on the normal lap, doesn't it? And Brady now leading, as you can see, by 7.8 seconds. John Peters has the boost on behind.
And we've just heard that Aoki being awarded that 7th place. So if things end as they are, it will be Rafa that take the lead of this championship.
So that's 7th place, that means they were basically second. So basically, I think they've given them based on their starting positions, haven't they, from the place race, which was red flagged early on. So that's 9 points then for Aoki. So in the meantime, we're into the second half now of this final here at Lago Maggiore, and it's Brady with a 9.5 second lead. Are we going to see them coming through to their long lap? And the answer is no.
And the main reason why I think is we've got less than a 10-second gap between the Sam Coleman and John Peters at the moment, so it's risky to do it now when you are within the margin of the long lap. So you've got the spotters on shore trying to predict that, trying to make that strategy work, and maybe they want Sam to pull away a little bit more and then activate that long lap.
There's Sarah Price, she's just taken her short lap, I can tell you, so that's why she's now ahead of Rafa, but Tom Chap behind and Rafa needs to do the same thing again. So at the moment, certainly out there on the water, Westbrook are ahead, but as you see on the prediction, look, Rafa would be ahead because they still need to do their short lap there with the blue smart marks. They basically cut the inside of turn 1. Okay, so we're into the penultimate lap. It's lap 5 of 6. And the two at the front both need to take a long lap. So I think potentially the biggest change you're going to see here is Westbrook, look, this brilliantly beautiful looking red boat in third place, the Will Smith run team, being overhauled by
Tom, Chap and Rafa, and I can tell you that Rafa now, as you can see for yourself, are taking the short lap. This is going to be very, very close, but Rafa should be ahead, and they are.
Yeah, that's well done. That's really well timed to make that short lap strategy work. And now, as things stand, as we said, this would give Rafa the lead of the championship, but I'm sure that's not all they want. I'm sure they want more from this race.
Well, this is like a seesaw, isn't it? The pendulum continues to swing because I only led after Jeddah, Rafa led the championship after Doha with their win, and then we saw it change.
It's close for second now, look at this!
5 per second, it's still going on.
Yeah, just coming out of the long lap there was really close between John Peace and Tom Chap. Tom Chap timed that strategy really well, and by not having to do that long lap then, able to go the better of it.
Well, that's absolutely brilliant pace there, and that run he had into the long lap was fantastic as well. We're into the 6th and the final lap, and Coleman will take his long lap, and he's all fine now with his healthy advantage. That's this great scrap going on. Let's see if John Peters then with Blue Rising can do anything about Tom Chap. So it's the French pilot ahead of the American pilot. Sarah Price still in close attendance as well there for Westbrook in 4th place. There could still be a change here on this final lap, but that's the 2nd place.
Sam Coleman's now going to come in and do that long lap they have to do. Thankfully, there is about a 16-second gap at the moment, so it shouldn't cause any problems. He can come straight back out into the lead unless anything bad happens in the long lap taking. And Rafa seems to be pretty safe right now because John Peters has got the boost to try and get the best of him, but he's going to have to deal with all that weight whilst doing it.
There you go, he's one turn clearly ahead, and Brady finally their longest losing streak in 1.5 seasons of E1 is going to come to an end. We're going to have our 3rd different winning team from 4 rounds so far in 2025, the reigning champions. It's still tight, we can tell you, in the fight for 2nd and 3rd place. You can see them in the background, but they've done it. Tom Brady will be overjoyed. Sam Coleman come through, and his efforts combined with Kinnerlane and see them win here for the first time. Rafa are going to be second to take the E1 championship lead.
Excellent work there. And Tom Chap to take the championship lead. And Sam Coleman as well, just delivering once again. That Brady team looking incredibly strong.
There are Westbrook in that 4th place. There was still a fair amount of drama, wasn't there, down at turn 1, even though there were only 4 boats, 4 of the RaceBirds in that race as opposed to the usual 5. And wow, this championship just continues to fluctuate by the round. Every single time we've had a round so far this year, we've come away with a different championship leader. Team Brady then winning finally for them for the first time this season, and the 4th time so far if you take into account their 3 from 2024. Brilliant, let's get on board, let's get a reaction. Sam, congratulations, that's exactly what you guys wanted, your first victory of the season, well done.
Yeah, thank you. I just can't thank my team enough. You know, we had to get around for both settings all weekend, and we nailed it when it mattered, and Emma did such a great job to put us on pole. I'm just so proud of everybody. It was awesome. Try not to swear.
Stage races.
Yeah, please don't. Thank you very much indeed, but well done. Brilliant teamwork. Thank you.
Well done.
Team strategy, Saunders, you've been talking about it in terms of setup, communication, and they have aced it this weekend.
I mean, performance with a capital B, I think, as you would say, looking at this a bit, just looking back at the timing, I think the last 4 of the 5 races we've had, that Brady been involved in, they're top of them. So it's not just about the pace when it comes to qualifying time trials or qualifying races. When it comes to the group stages, the race-off and the finals, Brady just on another level, almost kind of symbiotic resemblance of what we saw last season.
Some rooted for Brazil, they did get the fastest lap of the day, but never mind about them right now, with the greatest of respect, because it is all about Brady as they win. I mean, you just never know here. We've got another 3 rounds still to go this season. The championship continues to close up Saunders all the time. There's a maximum 42 points available over the round. There's still another 3 rounds to go.
Yeah, it's still a lot that can happen, but as we know now, it's Team Rafa that had taken the championship lead, and because of that dominant performance and dominant win for Team Brady, they have really closed the gap now on AOQ Racing.
The 38 points look for Brady, and some consolation there for Brazil, who actually do pick up the fastest lap by AOQ. That was a bruising, an ugly weekend, wasn't it? That's the word that Danny Kloss used.
as they lose some ground in the championship. But there's your 38 points for winning the final here today ahead of Rafa. Brady, delighted. Rafa, your new championship leader. What it really was taking shape. 3 winners from the first 4 rounds. Next for round 5, it was Monte Carlo Monaco, the jewel in the crown. Absolutely critical then, isn't it, to get away here? And who's going to make the all-important great start now that the points are available? This is it. Who's going to win E1 Monaco for 2025? Team Brady won here last year, and they won the championship. They also won in Italy 3 weeks ago. So, Will Smith's Westbrook Racing with Sarah Price have overcome technical gremlins. They lost the boost earlier on. They've had wiring loom issues. Fingers crossed they can get to the end of final 2. They're on the right-hand side in lane 5. London's Katie Munnings lines up in the 4th lane for Team Alula, championed by LeBron James. Have had a relatively clean E1 Monaco thus far. Big fan of Coldplay. They're in the news at the moment, aren't they? I don't know whether there's any kiss cams here though at E1. This is Team Brazil and Youssef Al Abdulrazak in the middle of the pack in lane 3. Subbing for Timmy Hansen, who's away racing cars this weekend. And Youssef was second here when he raced for Drogba last year. Team Blue Rising and John Peters usually make excellent starts, and he charged through the field in one of the earlier races here today from 5th to the lead by the end of the opening lap. He's been on holiday in Menorca to celebrate his birthday since the last events. And lane 1 on the inside, Sam Coleman from Wales. Are we going to see the reigning champions at the top of the championship this season? First or second in this race would confirm that they're atop the standings for the first time since they won E1 back in 2024. Shelley, Jury Lee and Greg Haynes with you. Shelley then for the last time talk us around the lap ahead of final 2 here at E1 Monaco.
We have a great course here. It's very elongated, more like a rectangle. The white dot is the standard lap. The long lap is the green dots, and the blue lap is the short lap. You have to take one long lap, one short lap in every single race, in amongst that 6 laps. Your mission control, if they call your long lap and short lap wrong, it could be completely game over for you.
Spots of rain again here on the camera lens. We've had a delay to the start here, but we're about to get underway now with just over 1 minute to go. That was due to lightning in the vicinity, but the wind has picked up. It's almost 30 kilometres per hour now, wind speed. Look at Emma. The rain's coming in, the wind's coming in. Oh, well, this is impossible to predict, Shelley. It really is.
It's really messing Emma's hair up, actually. I can see that. So, yeah, the conditions are really tight, and the conditions in those cockpits at the moment, oh my gosh, it will be hot, it will be tension, adrenaline will be pumping, and I know for a fact this is going to be the race of the weekend. This is tight, and it's all down to the final push.
15 points for 5th, 19 for 4th, 24 for a podium, 30 for 2nd, 38 though for the win. Are Brady for the first time this season as reigning champions going to head the championship for 2025? A win or second would do that, as we ride now with Alula. Rain is closing in, the wind has picked up to 30 kilometres per hour, the clock is ticking down. 8, 7, 6, nobody go too soon, let's hope, otherwise we will have penalties. 3, 2, 1, and E1 Monaco is underway now, everybody away well, no jump starts, that's the good news. Brady with the advantage with Sam Coleman on the inside, but excellent start as well from Youssef Al Abdulrazak for Brazil, his first outing of the season in the final here. Brazil with their new boat for E1 Monaco are in the lead spot. Brady trying to keep themselves safe. Westbrook, the red RaceBird, look at the moment there in
in second place for Brady. They're all over the place with the wind speed now up to 30 kilometres per hour. Everybody safely up to turn 1, but Monaco has been a boat breaker so far this weekend. Look at Blue rising up alongside Westbrook. John Peters making another one of his good starts.
We are foil to foil racing here. The action is packed. The only way they can drive these E1 RaceBirds is literally to be on the edge of control at the moment. The conditions are tough and they've got to push it to the limit to get the speed.
So we're with Blue Rising. How close do you want it with Westbrook? Everybody did get away cleanly with no jump starts. That's very good news. How on earth can you possibly see where you are going? This is where communication with your team is key. Listen to the crowd cheering in the background as Marcelo Claraes, Brazil, comes towards us in the lead. His daughter Savannah watching on here as well. Look, an interview from her with Alex just a few minutes ago. Blue Rising though, they're cutting through again. John Peters doing what John Peters does best.
Brazil have never won an E1 race. I have my fingers crossed for them. I'm sitting on my crossed fingers. Come on, Brazil. Let's show them what you can do. And it would be so great when your team owner is there with you.
And what a way it would be to bounce back from the collision that Marek Strommel was involved in here with that new boat yesterday in Monte Carlo. They're travelling so much slower now than they were earlier on in the weekend because of these conditions. This is the normal lap. Anyone doing a short or long lap, Brady then closing in on Brazil. So as Shelley says, Brazil's never won an E1 event. Brady certainly have. They won here last year and they won in Italy last time out, and they've both done the short lap. Brazil and Brady doing the short lap, and it looks like Blue Rising and Aluna have gone for the long lap.
That's totally predictable on the strategy, Mark. Sam will want to stay as close to Brazil as he can, hoping for Brazil just to make that small mistake, small error, so he can take the lead. That's what he is pushing. He's pushing Brazil to the limit so that he can gain the lead. They look very, very close at this angle. They absolutely look like they're neck and neck at the moment. Yes, they are. Foil to foil racing with Brady and Brazil.
Youssef, 45 years of age from Kuwait, the oldest male pilot in the field. Coleman is alongside 41 years of age from the south and west coast of Wales, and they are still side by side. We're with Westbrook now. We're not coasting again, are we? I hope they don't have another problem. There they are in the background. But this is Brady looking across to Brazil. Good news, Westbrook are A-OK. Tom Brady watches on, keeping cool, calm and collected at the moment. But what's going to happen here? Because your RaceBird is almost alongside Brazil once again. Are we going for a short lap? Are we going for a standard lap? Are we going for a long lap? We're about to find out.
No, they'll do standard laps. They won't do their long laps at this pace. Obviously, we've got a team principal, new team principal with the Brazil team, Steve Curtis. Very, very experienced offshore powerboat racer, 8 times world champion. He is going to keep them all on the standard lap until one of those boats can basically get a bigger gap between each other. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen because Brady is all over the back of Brazil.
Short lap so far, the top 2 have completed them as we saw last time around. That's why they're so far ahead of the rest of the field. Westbrook with Sarah Price yet to do a short or long lap. Team Blue Rising and Aluna are further back because they opted for the long lap at the earliest possible opportunity. We are halfway through this at the end of this lap. Look how they're bouncing around. It's so difficult, almost impossible to get up on the foils at the moment.
Youssef is coming across there to actually put Brady back in the dirty water. He was like protecting his line there, so that was a great call from his mission control. That's what he needs to do. He needs to keep Brady behind him and really make Sam's job difficult.
Youssef is a jetty world champion as well of plenty of UIM action with powerboats. We're into the 4th of the 6th lap now. You can see Coleman there in communication with the team, and they are at the moment 25, maybe 26 seconds ahead of the rest of the field, although as I said before, they have already done their short laps. Up then to the far end of the 1.3 kilometres here at E1 Monaco. There's Westbrook, as you can see, in 3rd, and closing in are Blue Rising. And what's the situation there? That's a good run from John Peters of Blue Rising because he's already done the long lap. So despite having done a long lap and Westbrook have not, John Peters with Blue Rising has caught the back of Westbrook. This is the predictor. Maybe a bit of an ambitious one, seeing Blue Rising ahead, but it has to be said, Peters does have good pace at the moment, but he's half a minute behind
Now, John Peters, is he going for, who's doing a short lap? That was Westbrook, isn't it, coming through to do their short lap now.
I totally wouldn't believe the computer there. The computer says no, that is not correct. Prove me wrong.
Well, we've been proven wrong a few times already, haven't we, this weekend? And so is everybody down there on the water as well. We're with Blue Rising. This is the standard lap here. Absolutely neck and neck, almost foil to foil at the front. Peters has now put in a 1:33.2, and it's the fastest lap of the race. 3 seconds slower than we had in the previous race because of the conditions. Look how it's clouded over here as well. That cloud always tends to hang in the hills above Monte Carlo, and it's getting darker and darker here by the second. Well, we're about to know who's winning E1 Monaco in just 2 laps time as we come through to lap 5. Brazil with the advantage. What a story this will be in the presence of Marcelo Clary if they win for the first time with him watching on here at Monte Carlo.
Now, I don't know whether Sam is going to do his long lap at this point. It could be a tactical move where the position isn't changing here. So if he went off and did his long lap now and got it out of the way, it would be a call I would possibly make.
Well, we're about to find out, and if we are, we're going to sail out towards the right-hand side. It's exactly what he's doing, Shelley. You know Sam well, and you read his mind there, didn't you? Listening into your commentary. Around the long lap we go then with the Welshman. Look at the swell, though. You can hear how bad it is as well as see it. Making our way around the long lap. Now, Westbrook are on the standard lap. They're still yet to do a long lap, so Brady won't finish behind Westbrook, but they might lose time because they've got ahead of them. And look at Blue Rising as well, doing the short lap on the inside with John Peters. He's done his long and short laps. He's now only 9 seconds behind Brazil. Blue Rising are definitely still in contention here.
Okay, maybe the computer was right. I take it all back. That was an excellent corner, though, by Team Blue Rising. He absolutely nailed that round there, John Peters.
Really being thrown around now here at E1 Monaco. We're on board then with John Peters. Look at the water just pouring into the cockpit of the Team Blue Rising RaceBird. In the meantime, Brazil are coming through for their final lap, but they will need to take the long lap here at E1 Monaco. Blue Rising, second place. Westbrook are third. Then it's Brady, and they're losing so much time now. In the wake of Westbrook, this is the 6th and final tour here at E1 Monaco. Okay, here we go. Watch Brazil. Watch Brazil look down because they've got to take that long lap. And Blue Rising, they're going to go through, aren't they? They're going to take the lead here. Long lap also for Sarah Price in third place. So Brady will move back in front of them, but they've lost too much time, haven't they? Here's Brazil then. I'm not sure it is going to be a first E1 win, Shelley, here this afternoon.
Oh, I can't believe this. The changes, they are just literally lap by lap. This is what I just love about E1 racing. It is so changeable every moment. The long lap and the short lap just completely mess the system up.
And Team Blue Rising, Virat Kohli, Team Blue Rising have never won in E1 before either, but they're only half a lap away from that now. Brady, that's going to be so close with Brazil. Brazil have taken the long lap, Brady on the right, Brazil on the left. Absolutely locked together, foil to foil again here at Monte Carlo. We look across from Brady to Brazil, and remember, Brady need the top 2. They need to finish ahead of that boat if they're going to be leading the championship at the end of the day. We're just about ahead, but John Peters and Team Blue Rising, they are coming up to the last corner now, and their first ever win in E1. Surely it can't go wrong now, or can it? There's Brazil, there's Brady. Brady going to lead the championship if it stays like this. Westbrook are 4th, Alula are 5th. John Peters, Sarah Mathieu, what a celebration. Team Blue Rising are winners for the first time in E1. You have just won E1 Monaco. He can't believe it. Brady is second to take the championship lead for the first time this year. Brazil, what a great performance with their new boat, are third. Alula will come through for 4th place, and then it is Westbrook completing the top 5. Team Blue Rising win, Brady take the championship lead. Shelley, take a breath. What a race, what a weekend.
I was just so intent on watching Brazil and Brady. I didn't realise that Team Blue Rising were just creeping up on them, doing a great strategy plan. Well done, mission control of Team Blue Rising. You nailed that. taking you short laps and long laps, and I have to be honest, I wasn't even watching them, and there they were, came through and won it. Fantastic.
JP, congratulations. Team Blue Rising win in E1 for the first time. How do you feel?
How do you feel? You know, I almost got a little bit of emotion. I think water got in my eyes, but it's pretty special. You know, somebody said that they were voting for the underdog team, and they were referring to us. It never in our minds to be the underdog team. Maybe we were a little different, but we definitely locked it up this weekend, and my goodness gracious. Monaco, I wasn't a big fan of it, but I'm okay with it now.
So Virat Kohli, Team Blue Rising win for the first time, and what a season we have in 2025. Another new winner for this year's campaign as Team Blue Rising, Sarah Mizzer and her team Spurs ready to receive the winner. JP, John Peters. Sarah Mizzer helping to take the helmet, the gloves or the kit away from her teammate John Peters, because they have just celebrated Team Blue Rising their first ever win in E1, and Virat Kohli, their team owner, will be absolutely overjoyed. You just couldn't script it, could you, in 2025? How much variety do you want with Blue Rising winning for the first time? Brady, a very, very solid second place back at Monaco. Then it was Brazil, Alula and Westbrook completing your top 5. In the meantime, here in Nigeria, we're hoping to get away soon. In just over half an hour, we will be back on air. Keep your fingers crossed here in Lagos.
Welcome to Afrosport, Africa's home of sports. For years, Afrosport has brought the thrill of the game to your screen, delivering unforgettable moments and world-class coverage of the biggest sporting events across the globe.
We are telling the stories of African heroes of sport, inspiring generations to greater performances.
And the Super Eagles are in the lead.
From the electric atmosphere of the African Cup of Nations and the ever-pulsating battles in the Women's Africa Cup of Nations, to the fierce rivalries in the Bundesliga and the magic
English
of La
full
Liga,
mix.
Afrosport is where passion meets performance.
Just dealing so well, getting in front of him, that first touch.
We've taken you to the tracks of the World Athletics Championships,
The glory of the Olympic Games, the heart-pounding action of the FIFA Women's World Cup, and the raw power of combat in the Extreme Fighting Championship. The uniqueness of the NBA and the Basketball Africa League has been showcased on our big screens. We continue to establish ourselves as the hub of African and global sports.
backed particularly by our close coverage of the Nigerian senior football teams, the Super Eagles and the Super Falcons.
The Super Falcons are flying high, sky high.
Our offering also includes daily news coverage as the Afro Sport Now and International, as well as In Focus, transverses the sporting landscape,
bringing you the latest local and global stories with in-depth analysis of major events.
As part of our commitment to providing optimal sports coverage, whether football, basketball, athletics, combat sports, or global tournaments, Afro Sports promises to bring Africa closer to the action. Afro Sports, your freedom of sport. sportsmen and women from the African continent and of African descent have bestowed the global stage with their tremendous sporting abilities and produced some iconic performances.
These legends from different spheres of sporting endeavor have graced the theaters of sports drama with their skill and athleticism, inspiring generations with their heroic feats and phenomenal prowess on the field of play.
Their stories need to be told. Indeed, their stories must be told to highlight the import and impact of Black and African athletes' outstanding sporting heritage.
Afro Sports Now will celebrate African sporting achievements by telling these stories of superlative performances and inspiring moments that has transcended generations from the past to the present.
It is time to honor the heroes of Black and African sport by giving them a platform to showcase their exceptional talent as they continue to exceed expectation and excel. That is why we are here, and that's what we will do. Afro Sport Now, our sport, our heritage, our story.
The main event of EFC 117 is the scintillating title clash between the two top-ranked divisional contenders and perennial fan favorites, Faiz Jacobs.
I am the #1 bantamweight, yo. I'm coming for that belt, and there's nothing anybody can do to stop me.
And Vince Bembe.
When he smells blood, he hunts mercilessly for the finish.
Former champion Jacobs always has fans on the edges of their seats with appointment viewing performances.
Oh, big right for Faiz Jacobs. Chip Fulmer's down. He's looking for the finish, and it's over.
Told you.
What a win for Faiz, the troublemaker Jacobs.
But his opponent for Mpumalanga is coming off a knockout of the year with a first-round finish to book his date with destiny.
And in the black and red. Oh, he's out. It's a knockout. Bembe wins.
Comes through with a knockout.
What a knockout for Vince Bembe.
Baby.
Yeah, what can I say? It is what it is.
EFC 117, Thursday, the 12th of September, Johannesburg, South Africa. Broadcast and ticket details at EFCworldwide.com. Willie Van Rooyen, the rising star of the EFC, has made a statement in the Hexagon. With dominant wins at EFC 112 and at EFC 114, he's proven his skills and shown his intentions to take over the division. Aggressive, relentless, and always looking for the finish, Van Rooyen is a force to be reckoned with. But can he overcome the man standing on his way to the top?
Winning stars in professional MMA don't get any better than that of A-Team stars Willie Van Rooyen. Following an action-packed decision win against David Makani, the White Lion showed his true promise at EFC 110 with a first-round ground-and-pound finish of Mpumalelo Ngoma to remain undefeated as a pro. Tonight he faces fellow Praetorian Tabatso Malele, who is also entering this bout following a highly impressive win against Moses Makari. The forebodingly named Glory of Torture trains under Moses Manaka at Mamelodi Warriors, where the local rivalry between these two teams from Tshwane continues to heat up. It's Willie Van Rooyen versus Tabatso Malele.
Similar in age here and similar in height, but look at that reach advantage that will go to Tabatso Malele. That could pay some serious dividends this evening. Van Rooyen and Malele. Let's go to Khotso Bilal Ramopo for introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for 3 rounds in the EFC Flyweights division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, a kickboxer with 1 win and 1 loss. He stands at 5'9", weighing in at 125 pounds, fighting out of Pretoria, South Africa. Welcome, Tabatso, the Glory of Torture, Malele. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, a kickboxer who stands undefeated with 2 wins and 0 losses. He stands at 5'9", weighing in at 124.1 pounds, fighting out of Pretoria, South Africa. Welcome, Billy, the White Lion, Van Rooyen. Your referee for this bout, referee Vickers Swart.
Big Vic Swart, the third man in the Hexagon. EFC 112 continues to roll on. It has been nonstop action here. Of course, so much more to come. I expect a lot of fireworks here between these two. Here comes Angel, your beautiful Ignite model. Ignite, of course, brought to you by Dan Bilzerian. Ignite your life your way. Get that ultimate tequila experience. Angel and Dialize tonight. Tabatso Malele back in action against that man, Willie Van Rooyen, looking to stay undefeated this evening. Round number 1 is brought to you by Dragon Energy. Not only helps you keep up with your fast-paced life, it helps you stay ahead of it. And, of course, these guys are going right to work here, Simon. Why wait? Let's get into it.
Willie Van Rooyen trying to be first with some nice two-piece combos, but really good counters and solid footed movement from Tabatso at the same time. Both bring each other out, but, I mean, just swinging away. I think it was a nice left hook from Van Rooyen, but that Malele gets straight back up to his feet. More of a flash than knocked down than anything else, but Malele straight back to it. Still looking quite sparky. Going down low, following the fists. Is Willie Van Rooyen looking for home for that left hook. Again is Willie Van Rooyen. But Malele still looking very dangerous on the outside. Had a good home for that up kick. Follows it with a nice right cross as well, does Tabatso Malele.
The speed of these two young men, my goodness, they are throwing hard here tonight. Willie Van Rooyen looking for his opportunity here. This has been back and forth action. Tabatso Malele stepping his game up a little bit against Willie Van Rooyen. He knows he has to bring his A game because Van Rooyen has been on a hell of a streak. Nice combination.
Oh, and another nice left as well from Willie. He did eat a short little counter, check left hook from Tabatso, who gets the takedown now. Van Rooyen looks to get back up to his feet. There's one hook and he reverses into full mount, does Van Rooyen. Now he's trying to scramble Malele. He's going to get back up to his feet. He wants to complete the takedown. What a back and forth scramble. And again, he's looking to get Van Rooyen down. What a war we got.
A war indeed. This is a crazy scramble between these two. And now back up to the feet. Nobody able to get that top position as they are really jockeying for control here. Van Rooyen and Malele.
Oh, he's swinging.
Nice combination. Willie is putting them on him.
Really swinging, using the underhook to get back up to his feet. Willie Van Rooyen did well. He's thinking about the inverted guillotine at some point there, or the front headlock, I'm not sure, but they separate. Really, 2.5 minutes left in this first round, and it feels like they've gone 5 already. It's just been absolutely electrifying, both on the feet and in terms of the scramble, the reversals. Been absolutely fantastic, beautiful right cross from Malele, and Van Rooyen just walks straight into that, but returns with a nice leg kick. Again, coming with a short, simple left-right combination is Van Rooyen. Trying to push us forward, gets a nice little left uppercut does Van Rooyen, but Malele is still looking so dangerous on the counter.
Both fighters are really connecting this evening. Really laying it all out there. Van Rooyen, though, really kind of holding his spot in the hexagon, not giving up a whole lot of ground. But here comes Malele, is going to kick his way into the center of the hex. We are under 2 minutes to go. The most action we've seen all night, all wrapped up here in round number 1.
Both lads exchanging leg kicks. Oh, big rights from Willie Van Rooyen. Tabatso Malele is looking for the counter. Nice knee up the middle for Van Rooyen. Tabatso Malele comes back with a couple of swings. A nice left at the end of that combination from the glory of torture.
This is absolute chaos inside of the hex.
It just seems at certain points in this round, they both just bite down on their gum guards and just go hell for leather. Both fighters were really swinging, both scoring some decent points, both keeping their defensive guard up. Technically a beautiful display of kickboxing. Nice knee from inside the clinch from Willie Van Rooyen. Malele's coming back with massive shots.
I think the difference here is that reach of Malele. Van Rooyen has to fight his way in there. Malele is tagging him on the way in. Now Van Rooyen using the underhook, trying to keep him on the ground, and he's able to do so, and here comes some big right hands.
Well, they're trying to get back up to his feet. Van Rooyen dumps him back down. He wants to score with just 30 seconds left now in this hellacious first round of this flyweight clash. Malele's still trying to get back up to his feet, but Van Rooyen just keeping him pinned down there, getting the ground and pound working as much as he can, and taking shots as Malele to get back up to his feet. Nice elbow from Van Rooyen, followed by the knee up the middle. He's looking for the knee in the clinch again is Van Rooyen. He's coming forward. Malele's covering up. He's got nowhere to go here. Van Rooyen's trying to look for the finish, but Malele's just not going anywhere.
Not at all, and Van Rooyen looking to finish up the round, and he does, and that was great back and forth action. Malele had his moment. Van Rooyen, as you see, had his as well, and that is a tight fight here between these two. It has been a battle from the first second of round number one, and they never stopped. One gear all the way through. Shout out to Andrew Vancell. Mukuru, corner camp, taking a look at Willie Van Rooyen. Here's the replay, Simon.
Yeah, look, both exchanging leg kicks, both fresh at the beginning. The movement between the two fighters were electric. You can see Van Rooyen there. There's the short little hook that got the knockdown, but Tabatso got Strager back up to his feet and just carried on firing, as you can see. Caught catching the leg, using it to get that right. Let's see if we can take a look at the takedown. Malele just drove through nicely. Van Rooyen using the underhook several times to get back up to his feet. Both lads just swinging a nice right cross at the end of that combination. Van Rooyen looking for the home for that high knee from inside the clinch. Swinging away with these massive overhands was Tabatso, even though he was on the back foot. And again, some nice work, some nice dirty boxing work inside the clinch for Van Rooyen. Probably takes the round for him, 10-9 in terms of the most damage caused, but Malele not going anywhere, getting some nice counters of his own, getting some good leg kicks going. Very even first round, even though Van Rooyen shades it.
Willie taking center of the hexagon there once again. We've seen Malele fight his way through there. Both guys competing to hold on to that hex spot. And Van Rooyen has just given up that reach, and so far Malele's been able to make him pay with it. He's been able to hit him from a distance, really find his range. But Van Rooyen's just been so much more active and has thrown more shots. He's been so busy. I'd hate to have to judge this one, Simon.
Yeah, no, it's not going to be easy. Tabatso does like that teep kick to create the distance and then jump into the pocket, or just create the distance and wait for Van Rooyen then to come back at him. So it's a nice, you mentioned using that reach advantage as Tabatso and just enticing Van Rooyen to get into the pocket. And once Van Rooyen does, he does score with it and scores with power. He's certainly shooting with a lot of intent. And again, looks for a home for that right cross. Nice high kick from Tabatso. Oh, nice.
Ooh, wow.
Back kick onto the ribs from Van Rooyen, scores. Good head movement from Van Rooyen as he starts to exchange. Beautiful, cute little left uppercut cross from Van Rooyen to get into the pocket and then follow up with. He certainly did eat some shots, as well did Van Rooyen. Again, looking for a home for the big right and a good knockdown for Tabatso.
Wow. Tabatso, after taking 4 or 5 real clean shots, is able to give one back of his own, and it stings Van Rooyen and puts him to the ground. Now Tabatso looking to capitalize. I think Van Rooyen has landed more significant shots, but Malele lands an absolute boom shot that drops Van Rooyen. What a battle.
I'd like to see on that replay, I don't know if it was a slip or a shot. It looked like a good, nice little cute hook from Malele that got Van Rooyen down to the canvas. He get back up to his feet and does the right way in the scramble to Van Rooyen. Again, just going for that two-piece. Van Rooyen dances out of the pockets. Malele comes forward. Now it's Van Rooyen who's thinking about the counter. Both fighters just taking a moment here just to get a bit of oxygen. Oh, leg kick from Van Rooyen for a nice, beautiful right high roundhouse from Malele that's acknowledged by Van Rooyen as they both start to swing for the fences again. There was a nice high kick there from Tabatso Malele. Clinching
round
up.
and round they go here. Malele diving in for the takedown. He's going to get it. Such an evenly matched fight here between these two as Malele now in a great position. Van Rooyen already, it looks to be getting out the back and kind of coming around the back there, and he may have an opportunity if he can do so. But Malele able to keep things in his position, but no, Van Rooyen will roll through, and back up they go. The scramble continues.
Beautifully done from Van Rooyen, but good. Well done for Malele to stay in control here. It was a nice sweep, and able Van Rooyen to get his feet. Nice knee from Van Rooyen, and then looks for a home for the little cute short elbow. Again looks for a home for that left elbow. Malele fires back with a couple of shots of his own. And this may just be, at the end of the day, one of those fights where both lads are swinging and can't finish each other. Nice short right from Malele as Billy comes into the pocket. Nice high knee from inside the clinch from the white line again. We might be going to the third round, and it may be just a matter of testing the gas tank and see if either fighter has any kind of power and speed left after two incredible back and forth rounds.
If they even get out of this one, we've already seen some great power shots here by both men. Under a minute to go here of a potential 3-round fight. Willie Van Rooyen looking to stay undefeated. Malele tagging him with the counter punches.
And Vidi comes in with a nice body kick after eating a nice two-piece combo from Tabazzo. Again, that reach advantage working well for Malele. Going for the inside leg kick, but just getting out of danger. Nice body kick from Van Rooyen. Follows him with a nice right cross as well that scores well for him. Again, that two-piece working well. Bit of zip, missing out a bit now out of Tabazzo Malele's punches. As Billy Van Rooyen goes to the work, nice leg kick, but he eats a good right from Tabazzo. Overreaches with a massive left uppercut that misses. Wow, another cracking round.
What it comes down to is really finding your range. That's the story of this fight. When Malele's at range and he has him at the end of his fist, he's doing well. When Van Rooyen can get inside and get in closer, he's doing well. It's all about finding your range, and right now I see this thing very, very even. Here's your Makuru corner cam, Tabazzo Malele and his coaches getting him ready for the third and final round. Action replays, Simon. This was hot and heavy here, a lot of fast action.
Some nice shots there from Malele. Again, that nice left hook coming forward, swinging away, just pushing the pace and putting Willie Van Rooyen on the back foot. There's that spinning back kick, I don't think landed significantly there. It's difficult to see, but there's the leg kick from Van Rooyen that eats the nice cross from Malele that gets the knockdown. I thought it was a slip, but it was a legitimately good shot from Malele. A beautiful takedown, but then there was a nice sweep for Van Rooyen here that we don't see. Beautiful body shot from Van Rooyen, goes low very nicely. Nice right cross at the end of that round for Van Rooyen. I mean, you could easily score it around a piece, Cyrus, and you've got both fighters got to come into this third round.
I think it's tight all the way through.
Yep.
And don't be surprised if the judges have something different, if they're not all in agreement here. That's how close of a fight we have. Third and final round brought to you by Dragon Energy. The Cyrus Feast commemorative can coming very, very soon. 3 or 4 years in the making, but we're all looking forward to it.
Only
Round
three
number
or four
3.
years. Only 3 or 4 years. I'm sure it's been in the manufacturing plant for about 6. But
yeah, I'd say.
I still look forward to
right.
it.
It's going to sell a lot of Dragon Energy, I'll tell you that much.
Mr. International Edition. Going down to the body with the left now is Willie Van Rooyen, targeting the leg still. It's Tabazzo Malele. Shoots out that big right cross, but this time just out of the range was Van Rooyen. Comes with a nice two-piece to right overhand from Malele, goes over the top.
The calm before the storm here. You know, now they're starting to pick up the pace. This is what we've seen all the way since the first few seconds of the fight. They take their time, but then they really pile it on. And now it looks like they're getting right into it, folks. I wouldn't be surprised if this fight ends, if we get a finish, because you guys are landing hard, especially for their division.
There's a nice jab from Tabazzo that came through the guard. Dirty boxing, nice elbows. One-handed, old-school clinch from Malele. Left hand around the back of Van Rooyen's head and just use it to score short little right elbows repeatedly. Nice, dirty inside clinch work from Malele. Is it enough to steal this round? Taking a couple of breathers is Tabatso and just eats a nice combination. And Van Rooyen is now flashing out that left jab and scoring repeatedly. Malele is taking a little bit of break, using that push kick again to try and create the distance to negate that offense for Van Rooyen. Now Malele comes forward and really starting to swing with all he's got, but good movement from Van Rooyen. Beautiful two-piece combination from the white line and gets out of range. Ducks the counter so sweetly.
Still got that bounce to his step, doesn't he, Simon? He is still very, very nimble in there. Very, very composed. Malele, though, always dangerous. And Van Rooyen has to be very, very careful. He cannot get too wild. Malele will make him pay.
Nice left up the middle from Billy. Tabatso's coming forward, pouring out that left hand. This is a range finder. He eats a leg kick. Looks for home for the right, but no dice there. Good movement for Van Rooyen. He's still nice and light on the outside. Good footwork and head movement. Just negating that reach advantage from Malele, who's starting to hunt him down. It's another jab, does Tabatso. Again, looking for the oblique kick on the lead leg there. It's really Van Rooyen. That's something that he's adding into this third round. That's the second oblique I've seen from him, I think. Oh,
under 2 minutes left here as Malele walks through, showing some urgency. Knows that he needs to turn this round back around here to his corner. He's going to have to land. He's going to have to score some points here. 90 seconds left here in round number 3 as Malele starts to pour it on. Van Rooyen, no doubt, will have an answer.
Yeah, Tabatso Kim's coming forward. A bit more of a patient stand-up work from Billy. Oh, beautiful right cross from Malele. Stings Billy Van Rooyen. Impels Malele to try and look for the finish. Van Rooyen doesn't seem to be too bothered by that beautiful right shot from Malele that scored sweetly. Probably the most significant shot of this round, if not the fight. But Van Rooyen just continues to bounce from the outside. Good defensive work. Guard still up there. Blocks the high roundhouse. Oh, another nice right from Malele. This is a much better end of this third and final round for Tabatso.
And ending the round is so very important in a tight fight. You have to come out there. The last thing the judges see is you throwing a flurry, you land in a big shot. That could be just enough to put you over the top and to pick up that round. 20 seconds.
Yeah, they've got to finish strong, and both lads have given absolutely everything. And they're both sucking in huge amounts of oxygen to try and recover. A nice right again from Tabatso Malele. Van Rooyen dances out of the range of any follow-up from that shot. What a great fight. Great fight.
So there it is. There's the embrace. They went to war for 15 minutes. Gave each other all they had. Who is going to pick up the win? Will Van Rooyen stay undefeated, or Malele pick up the biggest win of his career? Find out very, very soon. But Simon, that was all that we wanted it to be. We love this division so much, and it is it's become really one of the hallmarks of the entire organization is this flyweight division. Always entertaining, get some real killers on the roster, and these two just showed what we're talking about, that we have some real talent in the flyweight division.
Yeah, 2 flyweight bouts back-to-back. First you saw Ntando Zondi in a superb fight against Mpumelelo Ngoma, and then going into here, Tabatso Malele and Billy Van Rooyen just went to war, went toe-to-toe in that first and that second round. Both guys having moments in the ascendancy, like those that beautiful repeated short right elbows with a one-handed clinch from Malele, going old school. That beautiful two-piece combo and ducking out of the way of the counter for Van Rooyen. There's that right that stung him, made him really reassess. Billy Van Rooyen using that reach advantage very well with Malele, making Van Rooyen pay I mean, Van Rooyen was first to the punch a lot of times, but Malele's counters were so effective. It's going to be such a tough one to score. It really is. I mean, I'm edging towards Van Rooyen, but there was moments when Malele, you know, had more ascendancy, scored more significant shots perhaps. You could give the first and second round. Is the third round going to be key? Oh, tough one.
Yes, indeed, we have a decision. Let's go to Hotso and see who gets their hand raised this evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give these two warriors a big round of applause. After 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard for a decision. The judges call this contest 29-28, 29-28, and 29-28, declaring your winner by unanimous decision. Still undefeated in the blue corner, Billy, the White Lion, Van Rooyen.
Oh, it's just so I can grab the White Lion as both caps. I talk about the local rivalry up in Pretoria, but certainly the respect and decency between you two guys. You went toe-to-toe. That was a great fight, Vili. How do you feel? Because really, he put on a great show with you.
First and foremost, I just want to say thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Without him, I wouldn't have been here. And yeah, thank you, EFC, for this amazing opportunity. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to show you guys my talent and the level of performance I can give.
So you must be happy with the win, because it could have gone either way. It was a tough decision. Some people thought he took the second round. The third round was crucial, but now you remain undefeated. How much does that mean to you? Because that was a great fight, Willie.
It means so much to me. I'm trying to remain undefeated. One of these days, I'm looking to go up to the contender rankings, hopefully next EFC at the main card, and from there on, I'm working myself up.
You continue to perform incredibly in this hexagon. You are a star of the future. The White Lion, ladies and gentlemen, Vili Van Rooyen.
The man known as My King is an explosive and dynamic fighter who has made a name for himself in the EFC. With a thrilling wins over at EFC 107, he showcased his power and precision. Despite his loss at EFC 113, his lightning-quick movements and devastating striking make him a formidable opponent. And now he faces an equally aggressive contender in Willie Van Rooyen.
It's a monumental morning in Mamelodi as two local rivals battle each other for the first time. Entering the Hex with bags of confidence is Mamelodi Fight Fit's fleet-footed flyweight Teboho Ntene. This web developer has stunned his last two prey with first-round finishes and fierce striking, incredible cardio and lethal grappling, a combination refined by coach Mpho Swallow. From the opposing Mamelodi Warriors team is Hauchelo My King Moshela, who can also boast of second-round aversions. With his only professional loss being to headline title contender Terence Bolelo, the Moses Manaka pupil can close out the fight in an instant with a skill set that makes him a handful for anyone at 125 pounds. Who will dance to the other's tune and play the mother of melodies in this classic local derby? It's Teboho Ntene versus Hauchelo Moshela.
Take a look-see here.
E1, welcome to Africa.
The culture here is spectacular.
I'm excited to experience the vibes that Lagos is going to bring, the culture, the food, the racing.
We've had a great welcome and can't wait to get racing this weekend. We're in Lagos and I'm super excited to get the podium myself.
It's Lagos GP. We will take the win there. I'm really excited to hit the water.
I can't wait to jump in the boat.
E1's in Africa. Lagos, baby.
Fantastic, isn't it? Here at the UIM E1 Lagos GP, presented by First Bank, the penultimate round of this year's UIM E1 World Championship, presented by PIF. We've had drama all across the season so far, and particular drama here in Nigeria as E1 touches down at the Lagos Lagoon. We're on the African continent for the first time ever. Slight delay here because of the weather, but keep your fingers crossed. And we come here off the back of Monaco, back in July.
Competition is competition. It's an equal playing field. It could be anybody's day.
I'm really proud of my team because they have the spirit.
The competition is healthy and everybody wants to win. This series has shown us that right up to the end, it all matters.
It really is hotting up now with 3 rounds to go.
Great battle at the front.
Oh!
Oh my gosh.
This is your championship leaders, Rafa, and they've got big problems with that boat. That was a big hit.
It was scary. I was worried for Tom, honestly, no. The main thing is he's okay, he's healthy.
This really is a turn-up for the books. First and second in the championship. Rafa and Aoki both in the place race. No! Danny Kloss is in trouble.
I am happy this race is finished, guys. What the race?
It's been an awful weekend. Cut and finish.
And never repeat.
Never repeat.
Art Brady, for the first time this season, going to head the championship. A win or second would do that.
The team's had a great weekend, so it's been fun, and now it all comes down to this one race, and proud of Emma. Sam's got to bring it home, and we're all going to be here cheering for him.
This is it. Who's going to win E1 Monaco?
Foil-to-foil racing with Brady and Brazil.
Brazil have taken the long lap. Brady on the right, Brazil on the left. Absolutely locked together, foil to foil, and Brady just about ahead. Brady a second to take the championship lead for the first time this year.
Yeah, we'll take that.
P2 overall, and we're now leading the championship. It sounds pretty good, huh?
It sounds good. Yeah, we're taking it.
And that Monte Carlo action 11 weeks ago put Brady, the reigning champions, into the lead of the standings for the first time in 2025, but not for long. They had problems here with a new gearbox required yesterday and didn't get through into this all-important qualifying race 2. Brazil certainly did, and they banked 3 critical championship points off the back of their first podium of the season back in Monte Carlo. So well done, Brazil, because it's been a difficult start to 2025. Really, actually, even a disqualification at Lago Maggiore. So they received the qualifying trophy with Jean Todt even here as well, the ex-Peugeot rallyman, Ferrari Formula 1 team principal, FIA boss, and now here is a special envoy for the UN promoting road safety. So look what that's done, because Rafa was second in yesterday's qualifying race. So they've gone from 1 point behind Brady to 1 point ahead following their first victory of the season, and sheer delight for them at Doha, and that was round 2. Brady then now just 1 behind. Look at that, 11 covering the top 4 and 22 covering your leading 4 teams so far. So Steve Curtis switched to Brazil from Westbrook earlier on this season, clearly now making a big difference. And yes, hallelujah, we're going to get some racing action here in Nigeria for the first time on a Sunday. The beautiful stars and stripes socks there as everybody gets into position. Looks like it's actually Sam Coleman who's gone for the American socks. It is. I would have thought he might have had a Welsh dragon on there, but he's gone for the stars and stripes instead. Greg Haynes with you. Saunders CB is down there to get all of the action for us. And alongside us in the commentary box is Shelley Jury-Lee. Shelley, it's been real excitement, hasn't it, so far across the weekend? What do you make of the socks, first of all? I think we start in the most important possible area.
Well, I think is he I don't know who he's representing there. I need to have a few words with him, actually. Surely they should be Welsh or English socks, but yeah, I don't know. We'll have to ask Sam what the American socks are all about.
Yeah, well, jokes aside, we do have 9 teams, 2 pilots apiece, 1 female, 1 male, so 18 pilots in the field, including 5 rookies here at Lagos for round 6. And the championship, the great news is the championship will indeed go down to the wire. Miami, Florida on Friday the 7th and Saturday the 8th of November. So stay tuned for that. It's been very windy here, very wet, but the weather's calmed down a little bit now. So get ready for the group races. Whoever wins these 2 group races is straight through to the all-important final later on. And equally as important, if you finish last in your individual group race, you will not be through to the final. 38 points will be available for the final winner later on. And also just bear in mind, because it is of paramount importance when you consider there's only 1 point between the top 2 in the standings, the fastest lap of the entire day today in any of the races will score you a bonus point in the championship. I mean, that could even decide the standings by the time we get to Miami at the end of the season. Here we go then for the first group race. Remember, whoever wins is through to the final. Brazil with Timmy Hansen. Welcome back, Timmy, the Swedish rallycross star. He wasn't with us in Monaco. Danny Kloss has been confident all through the event so far. Oben Duncan, the teenager, the youngest female pilot in the field. And Patricia Peters with us for the first time, the 36-year-old from Uruguay. She's a rally driver, first time on the water. So Miami are looking to build up nicely, aren't they, before they get to their home event next time out. Impossible is just a word, says Patricia Peter. I was chatting with her last night. She's absolutely loving this. Only went through the training academy in January, would you believe? The scare of Lago Maggiore and the big accident now long in the past for Oben Duncan. What can she do in front of Didier Drogba here in Nigeria? The boss is watching on from the sidelines. Aoki Racing are the only team to have won 2 events so far from the 5 we have had in 2025. Danny Kloss, the Spanish racing driver, as confident as ever. The start is absolutely key though here. And it's the FIA Rallycross champion of 2019. Timmy Hansen is back with us with Brazil, and off the back of their first podium last time out in Monaco, confidence levels are very high indeed. They've already scored 3 points from qualifying yesterday here. So Shelley, here is our course for round 6 of 7.
Here we go on the course in Lagos. It's like a kidney bean shape, and we have got 6 laps in total. You have to take 1 long lap and 1 short lap in amongst those 6. And when you take those, that is the all-important question.
And they've not had time to practice those so far this weekend, so more variables in the mix. So we look down here from our camera, which is on the Black Diamond Hotel. Very much mission control for E1 here in Lagos. We're about to go racing on a Sunday for the first time here on the African continent. We've had some big delays because of thunderstorms, wind, lightning, thunder, you name it. It's been here and has delayed us earlier today, but now we are ready to go. We remind you, whoever wins this group race is straight through to the final. Whoever is last in this group race will not make the final later on this afternoon. The clock is counting down, as you can see at the bottom of the screen. It's going to be a nice clean start and an absolutely excellent start to the delight of Didier Drogba, who sees his team pull ahead, but Aoki's made a good one too. Brazil holding back there, and the boost is absolutely critical, and that is by far the calmest we've seen the water so far this weekend here on the Lagos Lagoon. We look across from Drogba, on board with Oben Duncan. That's Danny Kloss going up the inside for Aoki. This is all about getting straight through to the final. And Brazil now recovering, with Timmy Hansen taking 3rd position from the rookie Patricia Peter, who's making her debut here, the rally driver from Uruguay. Nice clean start, Sherry. Aoki there cutting through on Drogba.
Yeah, absolutely. And here, look at Brazil coming up there now. I'm not quite sure what happened at the start there. It was definitely slow for them, but look at the attack they are on now. I wouldn't be surprised they're going to take that lead very, very soon.
This is wonderful, isn't it? They've waited all day for this. They've been extremely patient, looking down from Mission Control, which is on the 12th floor of the Black Diamond Hotel, but very much now on the water. This is where they'll do their talking, and definitely more corner speed there, wasn't there, for Brazil in relation to Aoki. Drogba are still third after their initial lead, and Miami, you will just see a flash of Miami in the moment. They're in the background in 4th place.
Here comes Brazil. They are pushing on and off that boost, trying to close that gap on Aoki. Can they do it? And of course, we've now got to start thinking about our long laps and our short laps. Who is going to take them? They can't do it on the first lap round. That is the start run lap. They cannot do it then. But now we can start doing short and long laps. And who is going to get that short lap tucked away and get some clean water? I would if I was Brazil.
Short lap, this lap. Short lap, this lap. Short lap.
Short lap, this lap then for Danny Kloss. This is the tactics we've been talking about. It's Mashay Al Alabaidan, his Saudi Arabian teammate, who's talking to Danny on the radio.
Now straight to the short lap, short lap.
So if I was Brazil, I wouldn't follow them on that short lap now. I would stay out on the standard lap because I need to get into some clean water. Is he going to follow it? Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Wouldn't have done that because he's still in the dirty water, but who am I?
Yeah, well, interesting, isn't it? Because we've seen this earlier on in the season where they've tried to do different strategies, but they've both gone for the short lap. You can see who's done the short lap and the long lap on the graphics at the top of your screen. And look at Brazil on the boost. They were brilliantly yesterday saving the boost on the back straight, ready for the home straight. But Miami are definitely coasting, aren't they, with Patricia Pita on the left-hand side. They seem to have an issue. Aoki still leading. Then it is Brazil in second place. But what's happening with Miami? Patricia is on the boost. She was saying yesterday she's just trying to improve her confidence and get to grips with racing on the water for the first time. She is the first person ever from Uruguay to have competed in the Dakar Rally and the first female driver in the Rally of Uruguay. And as I said before, she only did the academy for this back at Jeddah in January. Now, what are we going to see, Shelley, in the way of the normal race lap or the long lap for the two at the front? This is so close.
I would definitely I wouldn't do the long lap at this stage. You need to get that long distance out of your way. Brazil could do it. No, they haven't done it, so that's okay. I would definitely get some clean water out there for Brazil and try and get something under my belt, but different one. Miami, we're sort of pulling wide. Good racing there by Team Miami. She's pulling wide to let the other guys come through. If they're being lapped, then Team Miami definitely has a problem.
Yeah, Miami, their miserable season continuing. They're already last and 9th in the standings, 104 points off Rafa, your leaders, who moved ahead after finishing second in their qualifying race yesterday. So it looks as though Miami are out of the race, and of course they're definitely now not going through to the final. So it takes some pressure off the rest of them, but only one guaranteed final spot for whoever wins this race. The other two, second and third, will be going through what's known as the race-off later on this afternoon. Miami just about still coasting, aren't they? But in the meantime, we're into the second half of the race. This is lap 4 of 6. Oban Duncan is still running, by the way, for Drogba. She has done her long lap, so she's not as far behind as it would appear. But here's the live telemetry readouts for Danny Kloss and the Aoki Racing team. You see Rajan the Dragon there on the pink and blue livery. He's supposed to bring them good fortune, and he has already with 2 wins from the 5 rounds so far. And once again, that's the standard race lap, isn't it? I'm looking at our information, and I can tell you that Brazil have done the long lap. So now, different strategies being applied. There's Brazil on the left-hand side of your screen. They've done their long lap now. They've got a clear run to the finish through the last 2 laps. When will Danny Kloss take the long lap, do you think? Will it be the penultimate lap or the final tour?
I think he'll do it on the final tour, and it's whether Brazil can close that gap now. Now they're into some clean water. But as we see, every time the hull drops of the E1 RaceBird, you lose massive, massive speed. You might as well be ramming your foot onto a brake. And so the whole point of this is keep it gliding at all time on the foils and the hull out of the water. That's what gets you the speed and wins you the race.
So Miami might be going another lap down at this rate, because Danny Kloss will be catching. There's Drogba still in their 3rd place. They have done their long lap, and they still have 1 more short lap to go. It's going to be interesting to see if Drogba can get anywhere near the back of Brazil, but this is the talking point with Aoki, and it looks as though they are doing the long lap now, so they're not waiting for the long lap. So this is the crucial point in the race. Whoever wins this race is straight through to the final. Brazil will do the ordinary race lap. Look, they're following the white markings. Here come Aoki. It's going to be close. I think Danny Kloss is just going to get it, or is he? Over Timmy Hansen. No, it's worked. Brazil are ahead as we come through to start the last lap. That is phenomenal stuff. What an out lap it was from the long lap for Timmy Hansen. But Danny is now on the boost as we listen to Brazil on the radio. And they're informing Timmy that he's ahead. That's great, Shelley.
Great move there, and you saw that Brazil just came a little bit closer to Aoki there. He just pulled out and shut the door slightly. That's a great move because he was just giving them enough dirty water to slow him down.
Now Brazil, they're on the boost as we come up to the left-hander of turn one. Danny Kloss is saving some boost. He applies a little bit, but let's see how it charges back up now. I'm not sure this is going to be enough for Danny Kloss, but I've been wrong before. As Hansen on his return, he wasn't with us back in Monaco because he was busy with World Rallycross in Hungary. That's his new teammate there, the 38-year-old from Latvia, here for the first time. Ieva Mileri Hajin is with us for the first time here in E1. Brazil then, one more left-hander to go. And unless Danny Kloss can do anything spectacular with the Bruce strategy, or maybe a mistake for Brazil, it's surely now going to be the green and yellow RaceBird that comes through to go straight through to the final after a miserable season so far. It picked up with a podium in Monaco, and over the line comes Timmy Hansen back in E1 after missing around.
Congratulations.
Congratulations indeed. It is victory for Brazil. That is
Well
an incredible weekend for Brazil so far. 3 points yesterday in qualifying race 2, and now they are delighted, Shelley. It means, of course, that Aoki and Drogba, here are Drogba, coming through to third place. They will be going through the race-off later, but Brazil are straight through to the final.
Great drive there by Timmy Hansen. We heard Steve Curtis in the back there, the team principal, saying well done at the end over the team radio. So, yes, massive team effort and well done.
Absolutely brilliant effort. Timmy Hansen's got to be the pilot of the weekend so far. Timmy, well done again. It's all going so well, isn't it, here in Nigeria? And you win a group race for the first time in 2025. How are you feeling?
I think he's actually talking to his team there, Greg. So I think he was actually probably being congratulated, not listening to you.
Let's have another go. Timmy, how are you feeling? It's going so well this weekend. You're winning a group race then for the first time in 2025. He's focusing on berthing the boat. You obviously can't hear us at the moment. We'll try again, and I'm sure Saunders will be in the vicinity as well to catch up with the Super Swede. Well, how things can change so quickly, for better or for worse. And we were saying how difficult it is to dock these things, Shelley. That was a perfect example there from Aoki. A lot of movement on the water, isn't there?
Yeah, a lot of movement. And of course, you've only got one engine at the back, one propeller. And when you're trying to berth the boat and dock it, it's quite tricky with just one engine. You've got nothing to counteract it. Steve Curtis on the right there. Oh, and I think that's Team Brady actually congratulating them. So that is a lovely sight to see. Nice team effort there.
And I'm sure he ever will be down there as well. Danny Kloss is not at all happy, isn't he? Just flinging his gloves there towards the floor. It's not over. They've got more opportunities, but he wanted to go straight through to the final. Emotions aplenty here, good and bad so far in Lagos. Timmy Hansen then straight back into the action for Marcelo Clare's Team Brazil, and he wins to go straight through to the final later on, where a maximum 38 points are available. Kloss not very happy, but there is still time to recover the situation. Duncan will join him later on in the race-off. Miami, though, they're not going to make the final here in Lagos. Saunders CB is down there for us, and he's got a microphone with him.
Timmy, if I could just grab you for a second. Sorry, Timmy. Just need to congratulate you on that incredible work there. Talk us through it, because you know your first performance like that in the year. Credit where it's due.
Yeah, that was an incredible race. I got something stuck on my foil in the start, so the left foil just wouldn't pick up when we left. I was on the boost, but I still.
Lagos, E1 is coming. Let's go.
Oh my God!
We use E1 as a platform to advocate for sustainability and gender equality.
For us, Africa is a very important continent
technology innovation is the future, it can inspire the young generation.
We love Lagos, we love Nigeria. E1, welcome to Africa.
The right strategy, we always have the right calls, and at the end of the day, this man is made out of pure steel and magic, and I could not be happier to have him part of the team.
Viva Brazil.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, mate.
Well, lovely words indeed. Thank you very much. Saunders there with Timmy Hansen and the nephew there of Marcelo Claure, who's the Bolivian-American technology entrepreneur, businessman, the investor who runs this team. Now, because of the bad weather here, we've had a lot of debris in the lagoon after the last few days. You can just see it, look, getting caught on our right-hand side, which is obviously the left foil, as we look down the left side of the RaceBird. Look, that's a large item as well. There, a bit of plastic that's obviously blown into the lagoon with the thunderstorm that we had earlier on. And as Timmy said, Shelley, look at it, there you go, breaks its way, makes its way off the foil, and that changed the entire race. If that had stayed there, they wouldn't have won that.
It just shows how aerodynamic these E1 RaceBirds are, and the sort of fine tuning that they have done on the foils and the whole RaceBird.
Wow, brilliant team tactics there in the communication from Steve Curtis. This is a replay look of the start of that race. This is when they're waiting. They have on their dashes the timer that we see on the TV screen counting down. And Brazil, look, you can see it's obviously caught already on the left foil, isn't it? Because Shelley, it's moving around from left to right. It's exactly what Timmy was just explaining to Saunders. What a getaway that was, look. Perfect on the boost for Danny Klaas. No wonder he was so annoyed. We were looking across from Drogba at that point. This is the view now from the Aoki RaceBird. Just listen to the power being applied. They're waiting patiently. It's over 600 meters from the last corner to the first corner, so they have to be very, very careful. There is the Black Diamond Hotel. All the teams watching on from the 12th floor balconies. And what a start that was again for Danny Klaas. Don't know whether he had some debris or a problem, because he clearly was almost in the lead at that point. This is with Miami now. We saw them drop back significantly, if you remember, and go a lap down. Still looking strong at the start. We've got Brazil on our left-hand side. Look how poor the visibility is as well with the movement on the water. Brazil came up alongside Aoki. I'd be very interested to know what Danny Klaas has got to say about that, because he was pretty furious, wasn't he, when he came in. He's had moments of joy and moments of fury so far in this 2025 campaign. And remember, they're still very much title contenders. Aoki are only 11 points behind Rafa, and now they've got the uncertainty of having to go through the race-off to make sure they are in the final. So far, Brazil, the only team in the final here at Lagos. Wind speed now has calmed down a bit to 25 kilometers per hour. It was 30 earlier. And so the group races continue here at the E1 Lagos GP presented by First Bank. We've had 4 of the teams out there. Another 5 will now be looking to go to battle. It's the same situation as before. Whoever finishes 5th will be not going into the final, and critically, more importantly, whoever wins will guarantee a spot in the final, where the maximum possible 38 points are available later on this afternoon. Who are the contenders? We have the reigning champions, the erstwhile championship leaders from before this weekend, Tom Brady's team with Sam Coleman, Rafa with Tom Schaap, recovering from a big incident last time out in Monaco, and incidentally still using a replacement boat, I know. I was chatting with Chris Lazaraga, their other pilot, last night, and the tracking is still a little bit out for the Rafa boat. Hopefully they've got that sorted. As we look at Brady and Sam Coleman, Sarah Price will be contending for Westbrook. We've got Team Blue Rising with Sarah Mizir. Remember, Blue Rising won last time out in Monte Carlo, and Alula will be out there as well with Andre Solvang. Shelley and I were having a chat with him earlier on, the 21-year-old F2 powerboat driver from Norway who's replacing Rusty Wyatt. Emma Kimmelainen watching on. She brought her 12-year-old daughter to the Dubrovnik round earlier on this season. There were people confusing her for a sister because she's taller than her already, would you believe? Okay, here's your grid. 1 is the inside lane, 5 the outside. So Rafa and Tom Schaap will be in the best position. Let's see what Sarah Price can do with the red RaceBird of Westbrook. Then it's Brady, who are desperate to grab the championship lead back. They really do need to win this if they can to go straight through to the final. Blue Rising with the momentum of the victory of last time out. And then Alula, our new team for 2025. They replace Team Checo. So it is Team Alula, championed by LeBron James, and Andre Solvang making his debut here in E1. As you can see, he's working on the world's largest cruise ship, teaches boating in Norway, drove a ship before a car. Not many people can say that. He's actually training to become a ship's captain. Representing the Caribbean and Jamaica, to be precise, is Sarah Mizir. Used to be a star in the world of equestrian, recovered from a very, very bad accident when she fractured her skull several years ago. That's all in the past now. And remember, this team won in Monaco with John Peters on board. He may be competing today with the Stars and Stripes American socks, but Sam Coleman is definitely from Wales in the United Kingdom. They were so close to getting into their qualifying race yesterday, but lost out after a gearbox problem that's now been sorted, a new gearbox for them. Moving across the water from right to left and the second lane, so in theory the second best place to start is Sarah Price for Will Smith's Westbrook Racing. The 33-year-old from the United States of America. They're recovering from a battery problem here on Saturday. But for Rafa and their new boat, Tom Schaap, the 26-year-old from France, had to abandon ship, if you remember, after the collision in Monaco, and he actually had to jump off a sinking boat and into the water. Can he do what Brazil have just done? Go straight through to the final by winning this race. Shelley, here's the course, and as you said before, we've got short and long laps to contend with once again.
Yep, it's a pretty easy course with some lovely sweeping corners at either end and pretty easy chicane, so top speed all over the time. But when do you take the long lap and when do you take the short lap? That is the question.
And there is the all-important merge point just before the finish line on the start-finish, which is just shy of 600 metres. A very slight delay here, so we have an extra 3 minutes to wait now. We had a couple of delays yesterday, didn't we? Because, as I said, all the storms, a bit of debris in the water. We had a couple of wandering smart marks at one point as well. So everybody now in what's known as the milling area, as you can see for yourself. And because of that longer run here, Shelley, to the line, we have seen a few people going too soon, haven't we? And having to then slow down. So hopefully for their sake that won't happen this time. But it's something they've been practicing across the various practice periods we had here back on Friday. Weather conditions are okay at this point. Humidity's decreased, but still very high at 77%, 23 degrees Celsius ambient temperature. Saunders is with Chris Lazaraga of Team Rafa.
Chris, with delays like we've had today, sometimes it takes a little bit of digging deep to get the mentality in the right spot. Is that what you've had to do today?
There goes. E1 is coming. Let's go.
Oh my God,
We use E1 as a platform to advocate for sustainability and gender equality.
For us, Africa is a very important continent. Technology innovation is the future, can inspire the young generation.
We love Lagos, we love Nigeria. E1, welcome to Africa.
You dey ride bike when they chop well like pounded yam. Your mechanic they see you pass your family members every month. Na new plug. You see this my Spirit electric bike, you not get that kind of wahala. Now they ask you for fuel. Strong kakaraka. Carry weight of at least 300 kilograms. They can't they go. If they climb hill, if they dodge bottle like ninja. Time. Me, ba. And they save at least almost 100,000 naira every month. No fuel, no servicing palava. Just change battery and yam. I don't go. My people, no door, Spiro na baba, ride smart, save big.
And then you can see the race will start in 35 seconds time. There are 5 in contention as we look into the eyes of 4 of them. Tom Shapp is on the left-hand side for Rafa. Sarah Price, top right for Westbrook. Get ready to go. And look, a little bit of impatience maybe there for Sarah Mizir and Team Blue Rising. John Peters, JP, her teammates, on board now with Sarah. But JP is certainly a renowned starter. Here come the rest of them. Sarah's going to hold back and then get going. 8 seconds to go. Look who's using the boost. Sarah certainly is using the boost now, but will have less momentum from those who are flying from behind. Alula looking very good. Are we away on time? I think just about. Tom Shapp, Shelley, has the advantage. I don't think it's going to stay that way for long though. Look at Blue Rising. Almost contact with Brady. Brady in the middle. Blue Rising on one side. Westbrook on the other. As Westbrook now shoots through to take the lead.
That was so close. They were really like that. Oh, that looked like touch, but I'm not quite sure. But that was a real battle, and they were really closing on each other on that start. But Team Blue Rising quite like their tactic of a start there. That was a new tactic, and it actually nearly worked.
Coleman, if there wasn't contact, there very nearly was. That was so close, wasn't it? Look, it's push. Coleman, Brady, the reigning champions who were leading the championship coming into this round, all the way to the back of the field as Rafa went steaming up their inside. So it looked as though there was contact between Rafa and Brady. As Shelley's already said, no long or short laps on this first lap. What they do need to do, though, is what's known as the start lap. So those green markers signify the long lap, but that doesn't count as an actual long lap. That's just the route they take, isn't it, on the initial lap of the race?
Well explained, Greg. Yes, because everyone's looking and going, but they're doing the long lap. No, that is the start run. They have to do the start run, which takes them round that long lap course. Now we're on to the standard lap, and we can do short laps and long laps whenever we want. But Brady is struggling there. Look at him dropping down into the water. He just can't balance the RaceBird. Oh, has he got it now up on the foils? No, that's really unusual for Sam. Really unusual. So I think he could be struggling there with something.
Yes, the current's coming from behind them there. And Lucas Ordonez was telling me last night that although it pushes you along better, it does mean it's easier to drop down off the foils. And that was a perfect demonstration there, wasn't it? Unfortunately, from Sam Coleman. He was absolutely together there with Andre Solvang, who's been going great guns so far in his debut, the 21-year-old from Norway who's subbing for Rusty Wyatt. Team Alula, like Team Miami, have an all-new lineup. So 4 of the 5 rookies in the field are across Team Miami and Team Alula this weekend. Okay, Westbrook are coming in for their short lap, so obviously that's going to extend their lead. Back on board with the recovering Sam Coleman, who dives up the inside of Rafa. He's taken 2 boats in the last few metres. We already think there's been contact between those two in the race so far. So Alula doing the standard lap, somebody went for a long lap. Blue Rising have gone for the long lap, so this completely shakes up the order now, and we're not going to know where they are until probably the start of the very last lap.
Sam has made a great recovery there because he really seemed to be struggling, but by doing that short lap, it's actually pushed him back up into the pack. So nicely done there.
Yeah, it gets him out of the wake of some of those other RaceBirds in front of him as well, doesn't it? These are the average times. When you look at the long lap, it's 200 metres longer than the standard lap. The short lap, 200 metres shorter, and that is approximately, on average, based on what we've seen so far, the time you will lose or gain doing either your long or short laps. Westbrook then, with the American Sarah Price. They've already done their short lap. On board and they're now with Sarah, looking as calm as we've seen her all weekend so far. It is still Coleman and Brady. We're on board now in second place, and we're definitely closing in, aren't we, on the Will Smith run. Westbrook Racing RaceBird. On the left-hand side of your screen is Tom Schaap, the Frenchman, karting star, powerboat star. He's doing his long lap. So Rafa are the first in this race to have completed both their short and their long laps.
Yeah, and Andre is holding right back there in Ilula. He hasn't done a short or a long lap. But can he take this lead now? Oh, this is close. Is he going to get it? No. Yes. Well, nobody's got it. It's neck and neck. Lula and Rafa on board here with Team Rafa, looking across at Team Ilula, who are literally level.
Absolutely side by side on the run down to turn one here in Nigeria. Rafa really don't want this. They wanted clear water. Look at that boat moving around, Shelley.
Yes, well, Rafa were trying to close in on them there and try and sort of shut that door, but Ilula were having none of it.
Brady, in the meantime, have taken the lead, as you can see on the left-hand side of your screen, and that's a net lead for them now because they still have a long lap to go, but so do Westbrook in second place. Solvang is third for Ilula. He needs to do his short and his long laps. Then it's Schaap. It's going to be interesting to see how close Tom can be. There's the current predictor, which is actually saying that Blue Rising and Rafa could jump up ahead. But look, even as we talk to you, it's changing all the time.
Westbrook are taking their long lap, which is interesting. So they are on their long lap now. Sam's still got a long lap to do, so I can see where Sarah's coming from. She was like, let's stay, let's get the long lap done, and then all I've got to do is get across that finish line and hopefully stay in front of oh, now we've got Ilula right up into second place. I love this long lap, short lap. It changes everything.
It certainly does, doesn't it? And as the conditions change all the time as well, it's difficult to know where to look next. But Blue Rising are going to try and go straight through between the middle of them there, threading the eye of the needle as we look across from Rafa to Westbrook, the red RaceBird. Blue Rising, who won in Monaco last time out. This is so close. And remember, Coleman, who is leading, still needs to take his long lap. So his current advantage is 24 seconds over Ilula. Ilula need to do a long and a short lap. So this is going to be so close as we come through to the start of the sixth and final lap. You know what? I think anyone possibly could still win this, Shelley, because of the combination of who've yet done the long and short laps. This is going to be so close. You might even see Rafa still in contention for the win here.
I can't predict it. Normally I can look at it all and go, I can predict what's going to happen, but this time I absolutely can't, because no one has actually kept to the normal strategy, and they have, yeah, I wouldn't put money on it.
Okay, through the short lap then goes the second place Ilula boat of Andre Solvang. We're now looking at Blue Rising, and they're being predicted to move up into at least second place. Brady have the lead as the locals who've made us so welcome and team members all watch on. But Brady with the lead, they still need to take their long lap. So do Ilula in second place. So are Brady going to get away with this now on this last lap of the race? Sam Coleman, as we look down on him, you can see the boost decreasing. He's used all of his boost now. It's going to take a few more seconds for that to recharge. I think he should be okay, but we need to see how close it's going to be with Blue Rising, because they have done their long and short laps. You will see them appearing on the right-hand side of your screen in a moment as Brady come through the long lap there, delineated by the green smart marks. They do not touch the bottom of the lagoon. They all operate automatically by GPS, but here come Blue Rising. It's not going to be enough for them. Brady are coming through in what's been a remarkable recovery after the gearbox problems earlier on in the weekend. Brady are through to the final. Who's going to be second though? Because Ilula
and Blue Rising are going to be very, very close. Emma very pleased with that one. And it looks like Blue Rising have jumped through. Yes, they have, look, to second place. Then it's Alula. What a great top three that is for Andre Solvang on his debut weekend in E1. Rafa will be fourth, and that means Westbrook are not going to get through to the final there. That's amazing. Sarah Price was leading at the start of this race, and Westbrook, who are fifth in the championship and 54 points off the leaders, any distant chance they had of winning the championship is becoming even more distant now for them. As Sarah gets the boost on, but it's not going to be enough. Surely they had some sort of issue there, because she's lost a lot of pace, hasn't she, compared with the early stages. And Lucas or Donyev will be frustrated with the situation, I am sure. I'm sure Sam Coleman's not, though. Well, Sam, it's been a bit of a challenging set of circumstances, hasn't it, so far here, with a gearbox change yesterday, sprinting Le Mans style to the RaceBird, and it seems to be all going in the right direction. You're into the final, well done.
Yeah, thank you. It was a bit more than just a gearbox yesterday. It was a snap midsection, so the boys had to take the engine into two pieces and rebuild it, so they did a great job yesterday. I enjoyed the Le Mans start yesterday, but it was nice not to have to leg it to the boat to start this session today.
And how's it feeling out there now on the water? Are the conditions any better than they were earlier or yesterday?
You're going to get us whinging about parking boats and talking to you again here, aren't you? Yeah, conditions are similar to yesterday, bit of wind chop. Quite like it with a little bit of chop on it, makes it a bit technical, doesn't it? So, yeah, it's still fast and flat water, just got to keep it clean.
Thank you, Sammy. Maybe you can get one of those automatic parking devices installed like they've got on some road cars. I'll leave you in peace. Coleman in, and the team are managing to put him back into the dock. Thank you again for that. Well, as he said, it was the midsection, Shelley, that had to be replaced. I mean, that is a key component of the drivetrain on these RaceBirds. What a great job they did. And actually, if you look at the E1 Series Instagram page, there's a nice feature into how that was all changed and how calm they all remain. But let's just look back then, Shelley Jury-Lee, at that race. This was the start, and Westbrook were looking very strong. Let's watch out for the contact, though. The two boats who are third and fourth along. Well, actually, no, Rafa's on the inside, so Westbrook moved ahead. Brady in the middle of a big squeeze, but as we got down to turn one, watch the orange boat furthest away from us. Do they touch? I think they just about got away with that. That was so close, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. I think that was a little foil to foil. Let's have a look. Can we see?
Let's see. The camera will explain the story, I am sure. They often cut out if there's contact, so let's see what happens. Are we going to go back?
Yes.
Oh, yes, we certainly do. Oh, poor camera. Oh, it survived, just. Well, I guess it survived. I don't know where we are. Oh, yeah, look, we've spun around and we're looking at the left foil. Well done, camera. And that was a perfect demonstration of the contact there with Rafa on the inside. No wonder Emma was a bit concerned. To think, actually, that they kept going and still managed to win that race and cement a position in the final was incredible. Looking across now then to Alula. Quick word on Andre Solvang. We were chatting with him earlier on this morning. What confidence. And he's saying it's not necessarily an advantage to have powerboat experience, Shelley, because of the way increasing or decreasing the trim levels actually has the opposite effect to a conventional powerboat. That must be a bit confusing for him.
It's actually so much better if you don't race conventional race boats, because the E1 RaceBird, as I've said many times before, is a completely different beast. It's the opposite. So the positive and negative trim is completely the opposite to what you've learned for the rest of your life. It's all about flying on the foils or on the tippy toes, as Sarah described yesterday, which was so lovely. Tippy toes of the E1 RaceBird. Yes, you've got to keep those foils flying up through the water, but making contact, but not too much contact.
Emma Kimmerleinen absolutely overjoyed. It's not over yet, but it's hard to believe that Brady were almost 50 points behind. They were 46 points behind after Dubrovnik at round 3, and here we are 3 rounds later, and they could find themselves back in leadership of E1 for 2025 with just 1 round to go after this one. Miami, Florida on Friday the 7th and Saturday the 8th of November. Fourth in this race. We'll all go through what's known as the race-off later on. Brady, though, what a story for them. 14.3 seconds it was, as you can see, from the Welsh pilot back to the Jamaican Sarah Mizier, who is now with Saunders CB.
Sarah, in a race with lots of chopping and changing, you got the job done. Congratulations, good work.
Thank you so much. It was quite a difficult race, but I kept my calm, just focused on myself and just ran my race and listened to my team. So they brought it home for us. We all worked together and it really brought it home.
I'm tired, man. My brakes squeak, my engine wheezes, but my human says no money for upgrades.
Chai! I've been there. Trust me, I used to backfire mid-turn. Embarrassing stuff. But last week, my human found out about first credit by First Bank.
First credit?
Yup. Quick, collateral-free cash straight to his account. Boom. New brakes, fresh oil, and premium fuel. Tell your guy to wise up. You deserve better, bro.
Need urgent funds? Whether it's bills, upgrades, or emergencies, First Credit by First Bank gives you up to 300,000 naira. No paperwork, no collateral, just credit when you need it.
Dial star 894 star 11 hash or get it from your First mobile app.
First Bank makes you big.
You first. First Bank.
That's those teams who've not won or finished last in their races we've just seen. 3 of them from the race off will move through to the final later on this afternoon. I wonder what's been discussed there between Emma and Sam down at Tom Brady's team. E1, which started back in 2024. This is our 2nd season now. Mission control here up on the 12th floor of the Black Diamond Hotel as we come here to Lagos in Nigeria for the first time. Just a quick final word from you, Shelley, and then we'll be back on air in a bit for the real crucial stuff where points are handed out. What are your feelings? Because I would not want to put money on who's going to win this event here.
Well, I'm not going to say anything, Greg, because in that last race, I was actually completely lost and I had no idea who was going to cross that finish line. Their strategy was such chopping and changing, which makes great spectator watching, but I couldn't understand it, so
I've been most impressive so far with the way everybody's been reacting to difficult situations, bouncing back from technical problems, overcoming the emotion. Remember the emotion these guys had in Monaco when the boat sunk there, using, as Chris said earlier to Saunders, a replacement boat here. Okay, 4 more races still to come here this afternoon at Lagos. We will be back on air at 4 o'clock local time, just over 50 minutes from now as the big points are handed out here in Nigeria. See you in a bit.
Stereo Inc.
The 2025 Ballon d'Or from football goes to Aitana Bonmatí.